Everybody, hello. I hope you all had a good weekend. We're playing the demo of Mushroom Musume today. I'm excited. I'm excited. The demo is still here. It is still here, so we can play it still. It's great. um, I found this game through the. I found out about the game through someone else's playthrough of it on YouTube. They were a very cozy person. I wish I could remember who they were. Um, but we attempt to raise a mushroom into a fine young lady of a mushroom girl. And I guess I'm pretty sure we game over if she dies or we die. um I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. But if you like what you see, please go wishlist it on Steam. I'm pretty sure it's releasing quarter 2 of this year, so in a few months. um Fingers crossed anyway. But yeah, I hope you all had a good weekend. Good to see you all. Um, well, I need to adjust my chair. I need to adjust my chair. It's too low. There we go. Um, yeah, I was worried that we wouldn't be able to play this today because the visual novel fest was ended this morning. So I was like, oh no, I think the demo's gonna go away. But no, I'm pretty sure Mushroom Musume's demo has been available since at least December. It got an update in December, um, for controller support, so you can play this on controller if you'd prefer. Um, yeah, and I think the story's like procedural, procedural, proceed. How do you say that word? Procedurally generated. I think so. Everyone, it's a roguelite, right? Kind of, kind of. You get currency and can. I got my controller here just in case the keyboard gives me trouble. We should be fine though. Um, yeah. So you get like I haven't played it, so I don't know exactly how it works. But you have the almanac here, and it's kind of framey when you're on this screen. Um, Mushipedia. So you can get different mushroom girls. Is there two in the demo? Is that what that means? Or are these just placeholders? Maybe. Uh, Endings. There's how many endings are there? 34 endings. 34 endings. That's a lot. So this game is very replayable. Did I say that right? Words. Doctor's groan. Okay. LBMs. Little. I don't know what LBM means. We don't we don't know what that means yet. And then they have oh, high contrast is always on. Okay. Yes, please set it naturally. I don't know if I messed anything up. This is some text. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. Now, the video I watched of this very sweet lady playing the demo, her game was like browns and oranges. Maybe that'll just change when we actually get in the game. We'll see. Um, yeah, this screen's a little framey. I don't know why, but it is. It's a little framey. I don't know what about is. Oh, okay. Okay, I guess we should read this. I'm going to butcher some of these names. I am so sorry. Mushroom Musume version number 0.9C. Mushroom Musume was initially created. Hi Minari. Mwah, how are you? Congrats on getting first. You broke Entanto's streak. You're in ads, no worries. No worries. Oh right, you're here before the shoot. That's unfortunate. There we go. I don't know who else is here right now. Please go follow Minari. She's very sweet, beautiful, very pretty jellyfish lady. Give her lots of love. She's great. Okay. That's unfortunate timing. Oh. Got here before the. No, you. Hi, Minari. Hello. The ad break is actually going like the 3 minute ad break starting in like 20 seconds. I'm so sorry you got here before the. You got stuck with pre rolls and then. Oh my goodness. Keikaku. Hi, Antato. Hello. How are you, sweetheart? Minari unfortunately broke your streak. Time going back? Yep. Yep. Well, for me, it rolled forward. The clocks rolled forward an hour. Unfortunately. No, it's okay, Minari. It's okay. It's okay. It's good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend, sweetheart. We're playing Mushroom Musume tonight. I'm very excited. The way it's terrible. Apparently, my state's legislature did something useful for once and are like getting rid of daylight savings. So the clocks are apparently not going to change later this year. I don't know. Apparently, or they've like wrote a bill, something like that. Something like I don't know. Same as Arizona. Uh, actually, I don't know. Or it's the same time zone. I don't know if my state's like, no, we're not doing it. So I don't know if my state itself is going to have its own. I don't know. Maybe it's in collaboration with the other states. I don't know. I don't know. I just saw some headlines about it. I just saw some headlines about it. I don't know. I didn't even notice because my phone and my PC swap times automatically. So it's only a problem if I'm using the clock on the oven as what time it is at that time before we swapped the clock on the oven. Um, yeah, I don't know, but good to see you, and Tato. Good to see you. Um, yeah, I have no idea. I guess I can look into that during the ad break. I guess I can look into that during the ad break. There's a minute left. Oh, it apparently passed in 2020. Oh, so they wrote a bill. They passed a bill in 2020 that would stop us having to swap the clocks, but four other Western states have to like be like, "Hey, we're going to do this too." Yeah, so we would join Arizona and Hawaii on standard time, unless Congress passes a law to move the nation to permanent daylight savings. So, oh, actually, uh, they halted it. I don't know. I'm confused. There's an article from like 5 days ago where they halted it. I don't know. I'm confused. So I don't know. So there's a chance. There's a chance we'll join Arizona and Hawaii. There's a chance. Welcome back from the ad break. Sorry about that. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. If you even got ads, of course, of course. But yeah, this is Mushroom Musume. And I guess there's this little blurb about the game here. I didn't know about this. Mushroom Musume version number 0.9C. I think that's a C. Mushroom Musume was initially created over the course of summer 2022 for Pig Squad Summer Slow Jams. Overall, we were given 6 themes. The first two, Character Creator and Unexpected Consequences, were what primarily inspired the direction of the game. Over the next few months, we were given the additional themes Stealth, Critters, Dreams and Nightmares, and Final Boss. Keep an eye out for events and features that may have been inspired by these themes. Standard, yeah. Apparently, they halted the bill because 80. They did a poll and 81% of people were like, "No, we're okay," or some. I don't know. I don't care either way. It doesn't bother me, except the day it happens, like the week it happens, and then my sleep's kind of messed up. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to figure. um, I don't know what's going on. Apparently, they passed the bill in 2020, and then but they needed 4 other states to hop on the bandwagon, and I don't know if that happened or I don't know. Depression. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Growing up, people would complain about it at church because um, my chapel, there's 3 wards that meet in my church building down the street. Um, and we do this by having time blocks. So, and then every year, our wards or congregations swap time blocks. So there's first time block is 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This next one is 11 to 1. Yeah, 11 to 1. And then the third is 1 to 3. And whenever my ward had the year of church starts at 9 a.m. and then daylight savings happens, like half the congregation doesn't show up because they show up late. So yeah, there was always this joke where the bishop, whoever was presiding over the um, that Sunday, would get up to the podium and be like, "Hello, thank you for being here. We appreciate you turning your clocks forward or backwards." Um, yeah, so it's just a part of life, I guess. Use their phone for an alarm so it changes itself, right? Yeah, I remember some years I'm like, huh? Why am I so sleepy? Why am I so sleepy? And then I'll find out it's daylight savings. Um. Anyway, sorry. Created by Alita, Autumn Greenlee, Joey, Rose, Steph, Andrew Tran, and Zaozoruzana. Back in my day. Sound font credits Thomas Hammer. I guess I don't need to read all this. I guess I don't need to. This program contains free software under the number of licenses, including the MIT license and GNU Lesser public license. A complete list of software, including links to full source code, can be found here. I guess that doesn't work anymore because it's crossed through. Is the volume okay? No, it's okay, but all right, it's okay. It's okay. Can you hear the game at all? Can you hear it? I could turn it up. Let's see. We have audio. Oh, I guess I could turn the music up. Self voicing? Oh, is that like it reads the text for me? Do I need to turn the music up? Oh, because I can barely hear that. I need to turn it up for myself, I guess. Put it here. That's a little better. Orchestration. Okay, gameplay. No saves, sure. Choices. Excuse me. Oh, okay. What is that? Is that H? H? The letter H? Is it the letter H? I think that's the letter H. H is. Oh, that would make sense for history. Escape, right click, or start. Pop, open pop up menu. Okay. History. I am. Daughter info. Open close almanac. Toggle N. Or B on controller. Q is quick save. Okay. And tab. Toggle skip. Scroll wheel. Roll back when allowed. Take a screenshot. Enable self voicing. Okay. But if you like what you see, please go wishlist it. It releases in a few months, quarter two of this year. Fingers crossed. But good to see you, Minar. I hope you had a good weekend. And good to see you too, and Toto. Okay. Let's start. Once upon a time, there was a humble recluse. Though they had no need for society, they did often find themselves home to a loneliness that they could never quite shake. In the morning the sun would rise, at night it would set. The recluse would observe this splendor, knowing that the sight would be made all the more beautiful by having someone to share it with. It wasn't that they desired a relationship. Perhaps it was a flame that had burned them one too many times, or perhaps they were simply disinterested. No, a child. That's what they wanted. Someone to take care of, not to teach. Oh, to teach. Sorry. Unfortunately, it was a longing that could not be found. Not in these woods. Alone. However, we are never quite as alone as we think, are we? One day a witch appeared, as if drawn by the intensity of the recluse's desire. The lumber that the recluse had spent the morning gathering slipped through their hands as they spotted her, the witch of the woods. She began to speak. You desire a child, yes? For some, those are quite easy to come by, but not you, it would seem. Let us make a deal then. If you do 3 simple chores for me, I will present you with a daughter of your very own. The recluse, caught up in a moment of naivety, quickly agreed. The witch, knowing that the recluse was destined to accept, simply nodded and began to deliver the first of these so-called chores without hesitation. Thank you for this, Richmond. I think thank you. Okay. And water, thank you. Okay. It is important for a young person to be well grounded in this world, I hear. Bring me a jar of soil to help with this process. Keep in mind that not all dirt is the same, though. Consider the source carefully. Soil? That did sound somewhat magical, the recluse supposed. Left with this vague prompt, they considered their options. Okay, so we have 3 choices? Yeah. Do I want a quiet graveyard? So I'm pretty sure these choices determine what mushroom girl you get. A barren spot of forest long since struck by some invisible ailment. I don't want dirt from there. Graveyard. Give me my favorite foraging nook. The nook was just on the outskirts of the forest, but conveniently hidden from curious villagers. When in need, this spot had never let the recluse down. this time was no different, as dirt was there in abundance. Arriving back at their meeting place, the recluse was excited to share their selection with the witch. So that's what you picked, eh? Very well, it shall do. Feeling the need to scrub their skin, the recluse retired to their hut to cleanse themselves. The second day. The recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages. Having a purpose again soothed them, even if they had found themselves caught up with a witch. They elected not to think about that, though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to do, which is to say, they got up and went to meet with the witch. Upon watching the recluse's approach, the sardonic smile lit the witch's face, or a sardonic smile. You completed your first task admirably. 2 more, and I can finally give you what you want. She paused for only a moment before delivering her next message of import. There have been some activities I've been meaning to get to. Perhaps you could make yourself useful and cross one off the list for me. Not realizing what they were, simply saving the witch some. Icy! Hi, Icy! Thank you for the raid, swear. Good to see you. Did you get the rose? I don't know how that Yu-Gi-Oh game works. I was trying to follow what was happening. I was lost. I was watching you play it. It looked like a tabletop miniatures game thing. I don't know. I wish we don't really get Yu-Gi-Oh games like that anymore. Not really. I would be so down for like another Dungeon Dice Monsters or something. Something. Bye, Toaster Rudol. Hello, Raiders. Hello. If you don't know me, I'm Ketchup the Bear, your local Teddy Variety streamer. I do ASMR every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And the rest of the week, we play games. We're playing the demo for Mushroom Musume tonight. If you like what you see, please go wishlist it on Steam. You can go play the demo yourself right now. It has controller support as well if you need to play it with a controller or would prefer that. And it's supposed to, has a release date of Q2 of this year, so hopefully in a few months. Hopefully, we'll see. But you get a little mushroom daughter from a witch, and you raise her as the best you can. It's like those old princess making games. God gives you a daughter, and you have to like send her to school, set her a schedule, all this stuff. And then every Tuesday we play Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. We just started it. Every Thursday we play some Monster Hunter Stories, and every Saturday we play an old Sega game. Last Saturday was Echo: The Tides of Time. That game was broken. Could not do anything past like the first area. It was pretty sad. But this weekend is Echo Junior. This Saturday is Echo Junior. So if you want to see me get upset at more dolphin games, just stop by. The week after that, I believe, is ESWAT. ESWAT. I don't know how you say that. But thank you for the raid, Icy. Thank you. Please do not worry about sick. You want to take care of yourself. Get some food. Get some water. You streamed like all day. I think you were alive when I woke up. So please take care of yourself. Get some food. Get some water. Do what you gotta do. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for trusting me with your community. I appreciate it. Raiders, thank you for supporting Icy and his content. He's a big old sweetheart. Thank you. It was only 5 to 6 hours today. Oh, okay. Well, that's 16 to 17. And you do that on the regular? I mean, if you're playing the game you're really into it, it makes sense. Also, is the game volume okay? Can you hear the music right now? It okay. You don't do that on the regular. Okay. Can you hear the music? You can't hear it. Okay, let me turn it up here. Is that better? The game is very quiet. Now you hear it. Okay. Hi, LV. But Raiders, if you enjoy your stay, please consider giving us a follow. It'd mean a lot. We are pretty close to 800. It's still low though. Okay. What about there? It's you with extra steps. Okay. Okay. But we're nearing 800. Um, yeah. We hit 700 before Christmas. And we're already here. It feels too fast. It's not. It feels slow and then too fast at the same time. I don't. I don't know if it has jump scares. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so let me read this. Let me catch up. I see. Ideally, there's 16 rose cards, 8 red and 8 white. The story's helping one side or the other get all the cards to control the lands. Okay. The game is played on the board, as you saw, in which you tactically plan and move your cards around. Board terrains give buffs, debuffs depending on card type and such. Okay. Story is you're the Rose Duelist, best of all time, helping win a war. You end up playing both sides of the story for the lore. Then you get access to custom board maps, such and such too, if you want. Okay, so it's Skyrim, but Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's Skyrim, but the Civil War site, it's quest line of Skyrim, but Yu-Gi-Oh. Is that there might be oversimplifying it too much? Um, I don't know. Just fight helping one side win a war over the other just made me think of Skyrim. A true story. Oh, okay. Cool. I don't think it has. Just replace with Yu-Gi-Oh instead. Okay. I don't think it has jump scares. LV. Um, it's kind of like, to me, um, it feels so far. It feels like Cottage Goblin Core. Cottage Goblin Core is what it feels like to me. But yeah, we're currently helping a witch, so she gives us a daughter because we're lonely. No worries, AC. No worries. No worries. But if you guys like what you see, please go wishlist it. It's very cozy. Not realizing they were simply saving the witch some time, the recluse determined which task they were most suited for. Okay, so we have 3 choices. Do we organize a surprisingly understated collection of keepsakes? Test a selection of elixirs for quality? Or restock a selection of unsettling components? Personally, I have... I like collecting things. I like little objects. Like, just little, like, rock... I don't know, I just like collecting things. Maybe I get it from my grandma. I don't know. I guess both my grandmas. Maybe it's just a thing. Both of my grandmas have. One of my grandmas had a curio cabinet. One of my grandmas has a curio cabinet. The grandma on my mom's side collected these little cottages, these little ceramic cottages. I don't know. No, they weren't ceramic. Maybe they were resin. And lighthouses. And she kept them in this big curio cabinet in the what we call the quiet room, because we had to be quiet in that room, or my parents would sit me or my brother in there when we were being too loud. I don't know. Um, but so she had this whole cabinet full of little cottages and lighthouses, and on like the bottom level of the curio cabinet, she had like china, like a china set, and sitting in like a teapot or cup was the Princess Diana Beanie Baby, and she had 2 smaller bears in there too. Man, I always wanted to play with that Beanie Baby, but I wasn't allowed to open the door to it. and she had another one by the kitchen with more glassware and stuff. And then the grandma on my dad's side has this kind of taller, skinny one, just with a bunch of different stuff, dolls and other stuff. So I don't have room for a giant curio cabinet. I just have one of those little like acrylic boxes you can get on Amazon that you put together and has like a light strip in the top, so you can turn that light on, and you can put stuff in it. And yeah, so I like keepsakes. I like keepsakes. Why not see what a witch's most prized personal possessions look like? It's not like you would ever get this chance again, after all. The recluse spent a quiet afternoon carefully unpacking and rearranging her belongings, silently speculating to themselves about the sort of life this witch has led. Arriving back to their meeting point, the recluse was excited to report their progress to the witch. Ah, very good. How kind of you. After quickly wiping themselves down, the recluse returned to their hut for the remainder of the night. The third day. With 2 assignments complete, the recluse could feel their excitement grow. If this witch was being honest, and for some reason they felt she was, then that meant this could be the last night they spent without a child. They hoped so, at least. That was all they could do. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed to the meeting spot. Again, the witch had been waiting there for them. Welcome back, recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day, is it not? The last task is an easy one, for at least I believe so. Bring me something colorful, something bright, that you think will suit her. When they were first told of the 3 tasks, the recluse had imagined things that were much more difficult. They seemed so easy as to be a trick, which, they supposed, only meant they should take it seriously, as if a mistake could mean death. With death in mind, the recluse needed to decide where to search for color. A field of flowers, or a stony river? I like flowers, but there's just a lot of stuff you can find in a river. Right? It could be a shell of some mollusk. We're in a forest. Not maybe. Are there clams that live in fresh? Like, probably. There's probably clams or something that live in fresh water. Maybe. Let's go with the river. Though underwater wasn't the first place most people... Was that the metal pipe? Was it the metal pipe? My goodness. Like, blue screened me. I was not ready for the metal pipe sound. Though underwater wasn't the first place most people thought of for color, the recluse understood that there were many shades that people failed to consider. They arrived at the nearby river, glancing into the glassy water to spy a variety of small shining stones. Do we want a brimstone, a yellowed alchemal wonder? Slate, a simple yet sturdy gray stone. Obsidian, dark glassy ghosts of ancient fires. Jasper, nature's deep brown canvas. A strange, almost bloody stone. I like jasper. I think I have some. I don't have obsidian. Slate. Slate makes me upset because at least there's no granite. No granite. Because I used to install radar mitigation systems. It was my first job out of high school. Not a great first job out of high school. It did teach me a lot though. But my job was to dig holes. And we do that by punching a hole in the floor of someone's basement with a hammer drill. And then I'd have to get down on my hands and knees and dig dig this pit through like a maybe 4 or 5 inch hole. um, most likely 4 inch if I did my job right. um, and you don't know what's under the house till you punch the hole in there. And the best houses were ones with gravel, just like rocks that you could just suck up with the HVAC. The HVAC. Is it HVAC? The shop vac. The shop vac. The only caveat is you have to fill it with a lot, or you just only need to fill the shop vac once. The worst houses were ones where you get in there, and then you it's like little pebble gravel, which you have to take a lot out of. Take a lot of that out. And then there's like 2 or 3 inches of that gravel, and then immediately it's just mud. Immediately it's just mud. The worst part is when there were just big chunks of rocks under there in the dirt too. So you have to like dig around the rock and then move it so you can use the hammer drill to break up the rock and pull chunks out. Anyway, I don't want to use slate. I don't want to use slate. Oh, I just used slate. I think I just used slate. I can't load. I think I just used slate. Okay. Well, it was fate, I guess. We got slate. Okay. The rock retrieved from the water wasn't much, lustrous and bland. But it was sturdy and knowable. Perhaps that was more important than looks. Oh, our color changed. The recluse returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. She silently took the object, nodding her head to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. Oh ho ho, you want your promised daughter, don't you? Her voice was almost mocking, but at least it was not overtly cruel. I suppose I must tell you that I lied, human. I do require several more trifling things from you. First is the matter of payment. The recluse should have known that everything is for a cost. With wealth. Pay me now with life. Pay me sometime soon in larger quantities. Pay me at least at a much later date in a way I choose. You can have, do I have money? I don't know if I have money. I don't know if I have money. Well, I keep picking things on accident. Oh well, I guess we'll pay her later. Very well, another day then. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Humans are tricky, but mushrooms are much more resilient. Consider this an upgrade. Don't worry, eventually she will develop a mind. Simply give her time, as much as she needs. Soon your wish will be in full bloom. I suppose, with all that settled, though, there is one last thing for you to consider. A young girl needs a proper name. The recluse thought on the witch's demand before offering the final thing they had to give. Okay. I didn't even think ahead about this. So we got her dirt from a little hidey spot. And, then what? Oh, we organized the witch's little knickknacks. And then we gave her a piece of slate. Nothing's really dripping out at me. Not immediately. The only name I can think of right now is Phoebe. Let me look up the spelling of Phoebe real quick. Let me look up the spelling of Phoebe. Is there, let's see, ways to spell Phoebe. Okay, I don't know if I like those, but I can't think of anything else. Oh, I guess I like Phoebe. All right, we'll go with Phoebe. Oh, backspace. Phoebe. Phoebe. Oops, I just closed chat. Hold on. Oopsie. Phoebe? Thank you, Sucrose. I don't know if I like that it's spelled Phoebe. I don't want her to be my foe, but Phoebe's cute. Phoebe's cute. Wimbley. There we go. Hi, Sucrose! You should play this, Sucrose. You should play this game. You should. All of you should play it. I'm having a great time. So good, though. Hi, Sucrose. Hope you're doing alright, sweetheart. Good to see you. Then she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Well, we will, because we have to pay her still. Chapter 2, Cultivation. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed her instructions. Care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up, as any parent should, and assessed the things they needed to raise a child. Finances, in case the nearby village had goods or services that you could not provide. Nutrients for the child to help it grow strong. They would need plenty, as it would be depleted on a daily basis. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. Okay, here's our little daughter here in the corner. I don't know if you guys can see her, because chat's in the way. But there she is. She's in that corner. You realize that buried in your new goal, you've forgotten to feed yourself, or procure any human food, really. So we have 8 of each. Okay. What seems like the most nutritious option? To the village, their market has many enticing goods. Sneak morsels away from your charge. What was this mushroom for again? Looks tasty. I don't want to eat her. That's gross. Or sad. To the woods for foraging. That would deplete stamina. This would deplete nothing because we eat her. Sneak morsels away from your charge. To the village, the market has many enticing goods. Let's forage. Let's forage. You know where to find food. It's been something you've never struggled with previously. It's part of you, and nothing can change that. Not even a mushroom. Does that mean good things happen? Making your way to your favorite nook, you quickly find what you were after. Of course, the generous bounty of treats for your daughter is a nice bonus. The decision being made, life continued. Recently, you've begun to think about your daughter's living quarters, specifically her pot. You have a few ideas how to improve it, but you only have so much time. Which do you decide to move forward with? Use your cooking scraps as compost. Buy some fancy substrate from town. Ensure that her soil remains ever damp. What does that mean? This is like the droopy option. Or they're all droopy, never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. Decorate the pot. Infuse the soil with a drop of your own blood. Okay. I mean, that's fairly, free. Use your cooking scraps as compost. I mean, that's recycling, and mushrooms like that kind of stuff, right? Let's use our cooking scraps. Recently, when cooking, you have noticed some waste. Perhaps the peels and scraps that you normally throw into the woods could have a better use. You begin to place small fragments of your meals in a special bin. It almost feels as though you are sharing a meal with your daughter, and that thought brings you warmth. Ooh, that was 4 nutrients! Hopefully she likes your cooking. She'll have a lot of it in her life. The quality of life having been improved, life continued. Huh? Something's happening. She's got a little face! Your daughter has changed in the night. You got little legs. You awaken one morning to the sound of something moving about your home. Your daughter has grown a pair of sturdy legs. The creature walks about easily, using her new strength to push and rummage through your belongings. It looks like me. Thank you, Elvie. Thank you. Her demeanor seems cute and helpful, often following you as you go about your daily tasks. Encourage her cooperation. Spend time nurturing her environment. Motivate her to do something safer. So we can helicopter her. Or encourage her. I feel like I want to encourage her. But nurturing her environment would be good too. Putting baby locks on the cabinets. That's also good. Keep her away from the chemicals under the sink. Encourage her cooperation. That sounds nice too. We want her to be nice. But I want her to have a nice place to live as well. This is probably going to deplete stamina though. I don't know what this is gonna... Well, doesn't highlight anything. None of these highlight anything. Do we have info? Oh, here's our stat sheet. Environment acceptable. Your daughter's growth is fickle. To ensure higher quality, you need to grow her in the best conditions. So the game's telling me to? Indebted mushroom creature. Why is she indebted? Oh, we have a debt to the witch. Uh-oh. The mushroom has grown some extra limbs and is a bit more ambulatory than you'd expect. But there she is. There's Phoebe. Okay. So let's nurture her environment then. You decide that now is the perfect time to promote her growth, spending extra effort improving her living conditions. Your daughter seems to appreciate the attention and emotes cheerfully. The decision being made, life continued. One evening, you hear a light knocking at your door, quite a rare occurrence. Peering through the window, you witness none other than the Witch of the Woods standing on the doorstep of your humble hut. Could you be here for a visit or to settle a debt? Give her payment in full with interest. You greet her at the door, money in hand. If she's surprised, she doesn't show it. Thank you for your generous contribution. Consider our deal complete. She gives you a pleasant smile and a parting bow before returning to the woods. Okay, my finances are question mark. Okay, oh, that's good. Our stamina shot up to 11. With that particular weight lifted off your shoulders, you rest a lot more peacefully than usual that night. Oh, okay. The decision being made, life continued. So does she still have indebted then? No, okay. You've been irresponsible with your funds. One more necessary expense and you won't have enough food to survive. You loathe to interact with others, but you may have to find some work in town. Suck it up and get to work. You'd rather die poor than get a job. And you just might. Let's get to work. You swallow your pride and head to the village to do manual labor. It's demeaning work, but the fruits of your labor will ensure you and your daughter will survive another day. The decision being made, life continued. She's changing again. Okay. Now she has arms? Question mark, and her hair. Okay. She's cute. Cute. So I imagine growth is going to be quick and then it's going to slow down, right? One morning, you notice that your daughter is nowhere to be seen. After some searching, you find a massive clump of mushrooms resembling your daughter's protruding in a small clearing. Brushing away some of the freshly turned soil around, you can see the top of your daughter's head, having seemingly undergone a transformation. She twitches in response to your probing and shifts until the earth again covers her head. We'll wait for her. Your daughter seems intent on being underground, so you won't disturb her. After waiting for an hour, you decide to let her be and go about your daily tasks, occasionally returning to check on her. What does that mean? Later in the day, you return to find her sitting in the clearing. The creature had now taken the form of a young girl. The decision being made, life continued. While sitting at home one day, you hear an unexpected knock at the door. Unfortunately, when you go to answer, you find yourself face to face with a man that you never wished to see again. Though he was older now, the scar running down his cheek was unmistakable. It took me a while to find you this time, recluse. The sound of his voice sends a long-forgotten chill down your spine. This man is your former business partner, from a time when you did work that was less than admirable. I'm sure all this time alone has given you plenty of time to reflect. Are you finally ready to get back to business? That's a skull. Beg the man to leave you alone. Give the man a significant sum of money to go away. Kill the man. I don't like that there's a skull here. But I mean, we need money and we're running low on food. We have like 2 days of food left. So we need to do business. I think we need to. You can only run from yourself for so long, you suppose. Perhaps it was time to re-embrace some parts of yourself. After inviting the man in, the two of you speak for several hours. Nostalgia saturates the air, and though you were initially hesitant, the thought of working with him again seems oddly appealing. When he leaves, he gifts you some coin. In advanced payment, he says. Hopefully this time things will be different. Child? You awaken only to discover your daughter is covered in tiny parasitic creatures. For the sake of her health, you should probably find a way to get rid of the little pests. So buy some herbal pesticides. Encourage her to embrace the change. She's all organic. Leave them be. A thorough rinse. That's stamina. I need to get her food. I need to get her food. And she's not an herb. She's a mushroom. She's a fungus. Do pesticides help mushrooms? I feel like they wouldn't. Let's give her a rinse. After a moment of contemplation, you gather the requisite components for a soapy bath. Your daughter, thankfully, seems to enjoy the experience. The creatures are dealt with. The decision being made, life continued. An end? One night, you find yourself struggling to sleep. Your mind wanders as you consider your current place in life. You've lived peacefully with your daughter for many moons. Initially, it was all strange. Well, it never stopped being strange, but you were always thankful for the company. Besides, the affection you felt for her was like any parent would feel towards their child. It was normal, at least. She's dead. She's dead. Your thoughts turn to the concept of time, particularly how you were once alone, and how you are afraid that you will be again someday. Your daughter has had more and more curiosities about the outside world. It's only a matter of time before she wants to strike her own path. You hope you will be fulfilled now. You hope you've done enough. Ultimately, you find comfort in what you've done. You may have had many failures in your life, but there's one thing you know you can't die proud of. An intervention. Uh-oh. The recluse lay sleeping in their bed, and the daughter lay sleeping in her own. However, on this night, the witch has decided to intrude. It appears that her interest is with the child. She immediately stakes her spot at the end of the girl's bed. With a surprisingly gentle hand, the witch reaches out to feel the child. She sees her small size and her underdeveloped appearance. You poor thing, the witch murmurs, speaking softly enough such as to not wake her. The demon has no idea what you need to grow, do they? It didn't give me any options to get her food, did it? I guess if we killed the man, we could have fed him to her. Perhaps just this once I shall offer assistance. Take this gift of strength. One must never allow others to push them around, sweet girl. We gained a trait. The gift was delivered by a simple, delicate kiss upon the forehead. The Witch of the Woods wished the child a gentle good luck before disappearing once more into the night. Forlorn, uncertain. Uh-oh. In a new beginning. Telling the recluse that you wanted to see more of the world wasn't an easy conversation. As they grew older, you worried about leaving them on their own. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you had grown enough to want to move out. They even offered to help you build your own home, close to theirs. You were welcome to visit any time, obviously. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. They showed you all the tricks they knew and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they possibly could. Finally, the day arrived. You were officially on your own. Are we the girl now? I'm confused. You were scared, a little, but also excited. It felt like a new chapter. It was just beginning for you. Loving parent. Phoebe, common gray oyster. Okay. Cool. So it's because I ran out of food and the witch is like, this guy sucks. And she moved out. Okay. Or maybe that's always supposed to happen. You ran out of food for her. You ran out of something. And then the mushroom girl leaves. So I guess that's just supposed to happen, I guess. Maybe. Okay, so we have traits. Flavorful. You have a uniquely intense flavor, all your own. You're a little different every day, and that's a-okay with you. Okay, so dampness increased by a good soak or by a melancholic moment. This stat indicates how wet and slimy her body is, but also a murkiness of the soul. I don't know. I don't know. Increased by the right nutrients, or by things that nourish the soul. The stat is associated with how generally healthy she is, yet it could also be a persistent optimism. So our lowest stuff, our highest is robustness, because we gave her a bath, I guess. But potency, increased by a titillating meal or by titillating danger. This stat is tied to the strength of her mushroom type, or her ability to perform in stressful situations. Uh-oh. Humanity. Increased by thorough socialization or by doing the right thing. The stat is how good of a person she is, literally and metaphorically. Cards and tokens. Nope. Don't like an event? Use one of these cards and you can be on your way back home in no time. Cards represent the choices you have to make in life. Though you won't be able to use special cards in every event, they will automatically be dealt to you in appropriate situations. Be careful, most card types are limited, and when they're out, unless you can find a way to gain more. I feel like that's supposed to happen. That feels intentional that you run out of one thing. You either work yourself too hard, or you run out of money and you can't support your mushroom daughter, or you run out of food for her. I feel like that's intentional. It might not be, though. It might not be. But they're out unless you can find a way to gain more. Soma, your body is made of a useful resource, but you must be mindful to not give too much of yourself away. On use, it gives you a little snack for later, at least. And this is wealth. Everything in this world comes for a price. Use these to purchase goods or otherwise improve your circumstances. Tokens represent an expendable resource. You can stack these on corners. On the corners of some specific cards to bend the odds in your favor. Use them wisely. Or not. Excuse me. About me. Young adult reputation, relative obscurity. People don't think much about you. Family matters. Family. Mystic bond. You have developed some rapport with your creator, the Witch of the Woods. Loving parent. The recluse will always live in your heart and for the time being next door. Oh, okay. So I guess we were a loving parent. We just messed up. Or she grew up, that she had a growth stage. Or the intervention happened and then she had a growth stage. I don't know. I'm still a little confused about what exactly happened. A flavorful mushroom that grows in tight clusters. While taking a stroll down the center of town, you catch the eye of a curious group of children. One of them lifts a finger to point at you and shouts, "Look, a big mushy!" That's pretty rude by all means. What do you want to do about this? Go on over and see if they would like to play. How rude! Point and shout right back at them. Nope, we can't do this one. Ignore the children and just keep walking. Oh, this is our Nope card and this is a Soma card. Offer the kids some homemade dried mushroom treats. Let's see if they want to play. A 7. We passed. Okay. So the the video I watched of this person playing the demo ended when the mushroom girl left. I think. I'm pretty sure. Since you aren't that busy, and you wish to learn more about human children anyways, you turn to face the group and ask if you can play with them. The kids let you join in, and you learn of several new exciting games, things like tag, hide and seek, and a particularly fascinating one named stick throw. A nearby parent approaches you, thanking you for keeping the children occupied while they shopped. You head home a bit later after saying bye to your new little friends. We gained a trait. Sorta reputable. Where do we see that? The nearby town is having a big contest tomorrow. The local cooks are all getting together to show off their best dishes. It's open for anyone to compete or just watch. Just go watch the competition. This is our Soma card and it would use... Oh, yeah. This would help our robustness. This wouldn't help anything. This is our one of our 2 Soma cards. Yeah, we have 2. And we have 3 wealth coins and 1 nope card. Oh, including bits of ourself. And I don't want to give too much of ourself away, right? We only have 2 of those. So maybe it's best to save them? With that lower robustness? Yeah, I feel like that's... Oh, sorry. Robustness. Let's just go watch. A 9. We passed. Okay. You go onto the town to join the crowd watching the competition. You occasionally get some odd looks, but you just smile, wave, and people welcome you openly. The winner is announced, and you spend some time tasting the entries and chatting with the townsfolk. You are awoken in the middle of the night by a loud crash from your kitchen. You scramble to investigate and finally catch the source of the racket. A man hunched over in pain in the middle of your cooking nook. He spots you and seems to panic, waving his hands around. Wait! It's not what it looks like. Well, it's exactly what it looks like, but I injured myself, so I'm no longer pursuing that plan. Won't you bless a poor fool and choose to excuse my rudeness? An injured thief is still a thief. Kick him out. Excuse his rudeness. He broke into the house! He broke into the house! He did break into the house. Our dampness is only 28. Uh-oh. An injured thief is still a thief. Kick him out. He seems to be like... We're uncertain. Oh, is that why our stats change every day? I think that's why our stats are different every day. But I injured myself, so I'm no longer pursuing that plan. To execute my rudeness. Excuse my rudeness. Do we excuse his rudeness? Like, I'm not... He's still going to leave, right? He's still going to leave, right? This is like a... Looks like a tree stump holding a scythe. Okay, we'll excuse his rudeness. With a sigh, you help the man to a more comfortable seating situation. It appears that he may have injured his leg somehow in a fall. After a short while, he seems more comfortable moving around. Thank you kindly for the help, ma'am. He seems appreciative and shockingly charismatic. He gives you a slight grin and a wave before leaving you to your own business. You feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting. Trees are changing in color. Oh, is relenting. Yeah. Fall has arrived. Well, on your way to gather firewood, you find that your world is suddenly turned upside down, quite literally. After a second of disorientation, you suss out that you somehow walked yourself right into a trap. Your foot is above you, caught in a thick rope loop. You call for help, hoping someone is nearby. Thankfully, that seems to be the case. When the figure gets close enough for you to see, you feel a sense of familiarity. It's the thief who attempted to rob you in the night. Why, hello there, he greets. You seem a little high-strung today. His joke falls flat on you. Nonetheless, he's quick to help cut you down. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I wasn't trying to catch you. I'll tell you what, to make up for it, plus the attempted robbery the other night, why don't I teach you a thing or two? Of course, my areas of knowledge are rather narrow. Need for your brand of trickery. Let's learn some stuff. You consider the rogue's offer and realize that you have no reason to decline. Your chore wasn't time-sensitive, so you agreed to shadow the man for the rest of your day. The two of you get up to many hijinks, and you discover that though the man does have a penchant for thievery, he seemed to try his best to avoid overt cruelty. You also discover many useful tricks along the way, even if most of them are not entirely lawful. You return to your home that night with the promise that you could tag along with him anytime you so desire. But we gained a trait. Where do we read our traits? Oh. Falling into a deep sleep. I missed some. Okay, where's history? Thief's Apprentice. Stats changed. Girl of your dreams. Okay, the sun is low in the sky. Why is there the metal pipe sound? The sun is low in the sky, casting a beautiful warm tint across everything that you saw. Today is a particularly beautiful sight, blossoming fruit trees and the wind blowing through the grass. Your eyes feel heavy, and suddenly you find yourself falling into a deep sleep. In your dreams, you're sitting on a tree branch. There's a flute playing somewhere. Then, suddenly, the flute is next to you. Attached to it is the vague shape of a woman. I haven't seen you around here before. Welcome. Whenever you go to look at her, it feels like she shifts. You can't quite describe her. You probably won't remember me when you wake up, but it's nice to meet you. After sitting in silence for a second, she starts playing again. Fly? Sing along. Where do you go when I'm awake? Try to memorize this place. Memorize this place so we can try and find her again. Let's sing along. You close your eyes, absently singing along with the flute. You're not very good at it, even within the dream, but it feels nice anyways. Eventually, before you know it, your eyes are opening. It's dark out. You should be getting home. On one particularly desolate evening, you decide to take a walk around the outskirts of town. You find yourself overcome with an unaccountably uneasy feeling as you pass by an abandoned neighborhood, the dying amber light casting menacing shadows. As you enter a dilapidated gatehouse, protruding bits of ruin and decaying wood conspire in your periphery, forming unnerving figures. Something skulks among them. Finally, you spot the thing. Your body tenses with alarm as you distinguish a smooth and gray-brown object in a half-formed approximation of human shape. A statue of a woman. Oh, this can't be another me. Another Phoebe. A woman propelled by unknown means shambles forward and locks its gaze on you. A set of glowing purple features overlays the stony mask of its face, hovering lines forming a mouth and eyes. You don't know why, but looking at the creature fills you with dismay and revulsion. Her glowing image of a mouth cycles through different shapes as an unpleasant whirring emanates from her head. She emits a strange buzzing voice. Is this one a daughter of the witch? You nod stiffly, bewildered. This one is a preferred subject. I will commence a necessary experiment to determine if this form is fit for consummation. This thing means you great harm. You feel it in your core. Attack the creature. Tell her you are not the daughter of the witch. This uses mycelium. Oops. I keep... Oh my goodness. I'm misclicking. We passed though, I think. Without pausing for thought, you turn on your heels and dash away from the ruins, her heavy footfalls accompanying your own as she follows. She is much faster than you expect, but you manage a desperate sprint towards the nearby tree line, where you hope to lose her. Weaving into the trees, you slow your pace as you notice she doesn't follow. Stopped at the forest's edge, she merely stands and watches as you flee. Something grinds and hisses in her head as her ethereal face twists into a mask of hateful dissatisfaction. Eventually, you make your way home, feeling far less secure after the frightful encounter. A chilling breeze greets you one morning, heralding the approach of winter. The end of the year approaches, and you find yourself considering your aspirations. You want to accomplish something significant, you decide, something you'll remember. Take on a dangerous quest, attend a charming evening at the gala, decide not to pursue anything. What do we want to do? A dangerous quest? I don't know if I want to send Phoebe on a dangerous quest. Thief's... Oh, there it is. Thief's Apprentice. We do know how to do unlawful things. Apparently. Apparently. But I imagine attending a charming evening at the gala, we would need to increase our reputation, right? Hmm. We are uncertain. Flavorful. Alright, let's do the gala. I want to try the gala. Recently, you've garnered enough attention in the area to be invited to a high-class event. This could be an opportunity to celebrate the year, or invite someone you wish to grow closer with. Invite the girl of your dreams. Invite the person who raised you. Actually, don't go to the gala. So we could ask the recluse to come with us. Invite the girl of your dreams. Or attend the gala alone. I mean, we can't invite the thief, apparently. Sure. You consider a strange dream you once had. A woman was there, you think. For some reason, you set your mind on finding her. There's no one else you'd rather attend with, anyways. The gala isn't until the end of the year. You'll have plenty of time to prepare yourself. As you walk through the marketplace, you are met with a new sight. Today you find a new vendor in the town square, an old man with no eyebrows, and behind him, a large cauldron. In front of him, strange glassware, each filled with strange liquids. The man seems to catch you staring. Don't worry, girlie, I ain't no witch, he proudly proclaims. You don't bother to tell him, but you're able to deduce that much. I have potions for everything. Tell me what you want, little mushroom girl, and I'll make a potion for it. This seems sketchy, to say the least, but you can't help but be curious. I want to be something better. I want a different lot in life. I just wanted to pursue different skills. I want to have more energy. I don't really want anything except perhaps a surprise. I don't really trust. Do we want a surprise? This apparently uses mycelium. Or improves mycelium. Be better. This seems sketchy. Anyway, so let's go with a surprise. You tell the manager relatively satisfied with the service your body has provided for you. You don't have any dire needs, and yet, perhaps something he could give you was a bit of surprise? Just a little jolt of excitement to liven up your day. He takes a look at you, considering the request. After a few seconds, he grins. Ah, I think I know just the thing for you. He quickly negotiates a price with you, and when the two of you reach an agreement, he begins to brew your mystery potion. The man moves surprisingly quick for his age. He takes an assortment of components and reagents tossing them into the cauldron with a certain method and rhythm you could not identify. Before long, he hands you a black, opaque jar. Drink this in a dark room and you notice the effect as soon as you turn on the lights. Enjoy your surprise. You bid him farewell and decide to return home to test the potion immediately. As you step into your hut, you draw your curtains. The space is dark, as you often like it. With a sense of excitement, you slowly open the jar. When you do, something leaps out. It takes you a second to decipher the scene before you. A rainbow jolt of energy had begun bouncing around the room, finally hitting you with a quiet zap. You feel a quick wave of numbness pass over you. Oh. Oh. You quickly go open the blinds, letting light back into the room, and discover something has changed. Your body is shifted in color. You run to a mirror to get a good look at your new, well, look. It was different. Do you like it? I think it's cute. We're now a carnelian oyster. Or we've always been a carnelian oyster, actually. Never mind. I think? I feel like the name's a little different. But I think it's always... Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. Yeah, I like it. You think this new look will suit you well. Walking through the forest one day, you'd think to take a path yet untraveled. The road you follow is old, time-worn rivulets and fresh dung pock the path, as underbrush chokes it from either side. Regardless, the smell of adventure hangs in the air, and it smells... wonderful? The wind carries a fragrance clear into your heart, and stirs it with an intense curiosity. Before long, you find another, even tighter path branching off from where you've been walking. Oh, where you're walking. And soon you break out into a glade. The area is smaller than a hut, but in the center of its intimate bow stands a statue long since forgotten. Examine the glade. Examine the statue. Leave the glade. Let's look at the glade. Well, the opening is small, there's enough room to wander around. Trees on all sides prevent you leaving aside from the way you came, and a thick canopy prevents light from flooding in, leaving only the spare ray of illumination. There really isn't much to the glade aside from the plants littering the forest floor. Several different herbs that have been cultivated to produce sublime results. A 9. Okay. You meander around the glade, eventually finding a plant you originally mistook for a bush. Its branches are heavy and the primary source of the fragrance you caught on the wind. You break off a piece, enamored by the aroma, and store it on your person. So we got a new trait. Fragrant rose... Oh, it's rosemary. We have a knife. You've had it since you were a child, and it has always performed perfectly. Okay. An herb you found lying around. Its scent is sweet and long-lasting. Okay. Glancing around, the statue catches your eye. Sure, let's look at the statue. The statue is of a woman. The craftsmanship alone is worth commending. The proportions are incredibly lifelike. The figure's hair is short but detailed, with every strand perfectly held in place. There is a pain in the statue's eyes, one of loss and grief. It seems, standing there, that she is almost making eye contact with you. Suddenly aware of your surroundings, you feel a slight discomfort on the breeze, and cast your eyes away from the girl's stare. Underneath, a plaque makes up the base of the statue. Without the skill to read, however, you can only surmise that this is a grave marker, one for a girl long lost to the world. You pause for a moment before turning your attention back to the glade at large. It feels as though there is a presence watching you from beyond the trees, but you chalk it up to nerves. Feeling as though there are eyes watching you, you gather yourself and head back towards the more familiar paths. As you go to the local bakery, you feel a set of eyes staring at you. You turn your neck and barely catch a glance at the man following you. He's wearing a beret and a chef's apron, and making you feel uneasy. Tell the man off, you're not for eating after all. Our robustness is very high today. 65. Strength of character. Stressful situations. Right thing. Good, how good a person she is. I'm not for eating. You angrily turn on your heel and yell at him. I am a person, you know. We passed. You can see him visibly pale, taking a handkerchief out of his pocket and wiping the sweat from his brow as he chokes out an apology. Woo! The winter gala draws ever nearer, and you realize you have work to do if your date is ever going to happen. It's snowing! The woman you have decided to invite is strange, otherworldly. To go to the ball with her, you first have to find her. Go to the library for research. Try to find her in your dreams. The dreams is where we found her first. It's a good place to look. You've only met her once, but the thought of her sticks with you. You're sure that's worth something. The night before the ball, you take a flower with you to bed. You lay your head on the pillow. We got a 2. Oh no, we failed. Keeping your eyes closed shut. However, sleep does not come for you. An hour passes, then another. Finally, you begin to reconsider your plans. Perhaps there's something else you'd rather be doing? Go sleep for real. It's our dampness. This music's a little sad. I guess we have to go to the gala without a date at all. You figure that the night is young. Perhaps if you leave now, you can still make the party. Unlocked a new song. When you arrive at the ball, you find the room filled with all kinds of people. Mostly humans, but you're under the impression some of those in attendance might be like you, touched by magic in some way. As you grow acclimate. Oh my goodness. Acclimatized to the situation, you realize that you are not particularly sure what one is supposed to do at a ball. Many are dancing, but some are not. Some are also there's also an array of other activities happening as well. Trying to thank the host, speak with one of the other non-humans. Shove as many snacks into your mouth as possible. This uses dampness. Also murkiness of... Oh, is this because that's how unhuman we are, huh? It's increased by a good soak or a melancholic omen. Do we think the host... That's a die roll, I guess. Speak with one of the other non-humans. Sure, should we make a friend? Let's try making a friend here. 6. Okay. Though unsure how to approach at first, you eventually make your way next to a girl with the face and fur of a feline. You find that she had actually been wanting to speak to you too. The two of you find yourself in a lively conversation discussing your many similarities and differences. At one point, she mentions that she was created by a lonely witch. You are shocked to hear this, and the two of you again find yourself with another large topic to discuss with very little time. In the end, she has to leave at the behest of her companion, but she seems reluctant. You assure her that you'll meet her again someday, and say goodbye to your newfound friend. As you're standing As you're standing to the side, catching your breath and taking a moment to compose yourself, you hear the clinking of metal delicately being hit against glass. The room falls quiet, everyone turning their attention towards the source of the noise. It appears to be the host. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. This village is a community. We are all blessed to all be here to see the start of a new year. Let's all do our best to meet back here again next year. A toast to our village. The others all create their own clinking sounds in response, bringing their various mugs and steins together. After the brief speech, all of the sound that had disappeared from the room returned. It occurred to you that you had not yet partaken in the dancing, and the night was drawing ever closer to a close. Dance! Why not? You take to the floor? Is that? I imagine this might be a typo. Doing your best to mimic what the others around you are doing. It takes you a moment. We passed! Woohoo! But eventually you feel like this is what you were born for. You spin and weave and duck. Excuse me, sorry. And dance happily. Eventually others take notice, and everyone on the floor wants a chance to dance with you. Over time, the room grew slightly less full, perhaps a little quieter. It's almost time to leave. To bed early to rise. Let's retrieve some more food for the road. You're about ready to head home, but you decide that there's nothing wrong with loading up a little first. Helped our robustness. It's almost max. The snack tables are within your grasp, and the snacks are now within your hands, as many as your little mushy fingers can carry. Snacks. We have a trait now. A few people give you a funny look on your way out. You don't particularly mind. You've won the grand prize, human snacks. The walk home is pleasant. You find yourself glad you attended. Over time, you found yourself practicing your lock-picking more and more. Eventually, the thief took notice. He complimented you on your improvement and vocally wondered if you had ever considered a life of thievery. You vocally wondered back what that would mean if you had. What a stupid conversation we're having, isn't it? Why don't we simply agree that you aren't bound to the laws of humankind anyways? Now, let's go rob some rich fools, shall we? You, of course, happily agreed. In time, you practiced your talents often enough that the gap between your skills and his grew ever narrower. It was understood that he had his skills and you had yours, and it was also understood that the two of you worked best as a team. You were glad that you were able to find happiness, even if it was in an unconventional way. Ending, the thief's partner in crime. Woohoo! Okay, I guess that's the end of this run. That's cute. It's nice and short. It's interesting that Uncertain just changed our stats every day, unless it didn't, and I'm just dumb. Maybe? We have the snacks. You acquired a bounty of human snacks. The Thief's Pier. Congratulations on finishing your first run of Mushroom Musume. You've just discovered one of over 30 endings available in the demo version of the game. We encourage you to experiment a little while growing your next daughter to see just how different she can turn out. Be sure to check out your almanac if you want to track your progress. We've got plenty in this demo to keep you busy farming for a while, but I thought I'd also tell you a bit about what awaits players in the full game. Thank you! We're excited to be working on a new system of mini-games for you to play between sessions. Each grown daughter earns you spores, which can then be used to purchase mushroomy gardening supplies. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. What you grow in your garden can help shape future daughters, allowing players a little more control over her outcome, or even eventually allowing you to jump right to the third act. Okay, so that was intentional. Gotcha. It's chapter 3. Garden effects insta-grow. Your next daughter will be either 2 or 3 star rarity, have a delicate hue, know how to read. Not in a gardening mood? Then your hard-earned spores can instead be gambled away in exchange for rare goodies. How mysterious! Don't you want to know what you'll get? Summon. We're also hard at work writing. The full game will have double the word count and double the amount of story content. So that's like 68 endings? That's a lot. Including an expanded overarching plot. Delve into a dungeon, found a town bustling with fungal life, or maybe even destroy the Witch of the Woods for good, if you want. Not to mention never before seen mushroom girls, a cavalcade of new music, even some unique collectibles that are something else entirely. We're aiming to release the full game in the first part of 2025. Wishlist us on Steam to keep up with the newest news. Plus, it helps us out a lot. Please go wishlist the game. This is super cute. This is super cute. P.S. Since we're going to be buffing the core gameplay loop, players won't be able to transfer their progress from the demo version. You'll get a little bonus in exchange, at least. Just thought you'd like to know. Thanks for playing. Okay, and that's why the color's different. Okay. Alright, let's look at the almanac. So we have 1-star mushroom. We have the oyster. There's a ton of them. So these are all the 1 stars. Or maybe that's all of them? That might be all of them. 1, 7, 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 18. Interesting. We got the Thief's Pier. I'm okay doing another one. Or at least starting another one. But if you plan on playing more, it's just trying Pride in the passwords screen on the main menu. Okay. Okay. If you believe you know a magic word to unlock something special, whisper that word. Okay. How many ways can you indicate within the 4-color restriction? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huh. Guess the answer is 9 then? Kind of a weird question now think about it, but enjoy your colors regardless. Would you like to whisper more? Ah, that's the only one I've got. Oh, okay. Oh. I don't know if my eyes like this particular shade of blue. Zhao Saruda. Oh my goodness, your name's in the thing! Your name's in the thing, the name that I can't say good. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. This game is so cute. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we can change him in. Oh goodness. This. Gray. Carnelian. I do like the carnelian. Or can I ask it to do the default? Reset. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Boom. Does that work? Oh, stone colors. Oh, here it is. This it? What about this one? I like the recommended default contrast. I just reset it. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little lost. Maybe? Okay, there we go. Maybe? Hold on. I do like carnelian. There we go. I do like carnelian. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. We could do one more, or at least start another one. Ooh. Just means it'll change the palette if you unlock a new one. Oh, okay. Thank you. Where's the one with the metal pipe? Is this the one with metal pipe? One of these has the metal pipe in it. And it gets me. It's yeah. Collapses? It does. It is LV. It's also cool to just see it change as you play. Can I use another password? One of the other devs. Other games. Oh. Does it unlock this? Should I put that one in too? I gotta make sure I spell this right here. Rock and gnome. Smell a pipe. It was this supposed to be in the card release? Oh. Gotcha. Car. Oh my goodness. Neil. E. N. Yeah, okay. Are you alright? Ah, I see. Yes, I have something for you. Here, take this. Okay, alright. So it just, okay. That's alright. That's alright. So I'm not... There we go. Okay. Okay. it just kind of, it made me blue screen for a second. I was not prepared. It's good though. It's good though. But thank you, dear. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a humble recluse. Though they had no need for society, they did often find themselves home to a loneliness that they could never quite shake. In the morning, the sun would rise. At night, it would set. The recluse would observe this splendor, knowing that the sight would be made all the more beautiful by having someone to share it with. It wasn't that they desired a relationship. Perhaps it was a flame that had burned them one too many times, or perhaps they were simply disinterested. No, a child. That's what they wanted. Someone to take care of, to teach. Unfortunately, it was a longing that could not be found. Not in these woods, alone. However, we are never quite alone as we think, are we? One day a witch appeared, as if drawn by the intensity of the recluse's desire. The lumber that the recluse had spent the morning gathering slipped through their hands as they spotted her. The witch of the woods. She began to speak. You desire a child, yes? For some, those are quite easy to come by, but not you, it would seem. Let us make a deal then. If you do 3 simple chores for me, I will present you with a daughter of your very own. The recluse, caught up in a moment of naivety, quickly agreed. The witch, knowing that the recluse was destined to accept, simply nodded and began to deliver the first of these so-called chores without hesitation. Your child will come into this world with little to her name. Let us even the scales. Bring me an heirloom, something she will forever value. The recluse thought on it briefly, searching through their home for the object they had pictured. An old bottle of medicine that has sat unopened. Oh, is that an heirloom? Your most used cast iron skillet. A hair bow from your previous daughter, blackened with age. That seems kind of sad. What is a cast iron skillet? I actually clicked the one I wanted. Didn't misclick that time. Passed down from generation to generation, the skillet's seasoning had never once let an ancestor down. It wouldn't let their daughter down either. It will serve her for her entire life, and with luck, she will live on to pass it to someone else, too. Bringing their prize back to the witch, she simply gave a smile. How perfect. After their brief detour to meet with the witch, the recluse resumed their normal day-to-day schedule. The second day. The recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages. Having a purpose again soothed them, even if they had found themselves caught up with a witch. They elected not to think about that, though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to do, which is to say, they got up and went to meet with the witch. Upon watching the recluse's approach, a sardonic smile lit the witch's face. You completed your first task admirably. Hi, Chang, thank you for the stretch. I can talk, I swear. Okay. And water, thank you, Chang. How are you, Chang? Squats? Okay. Okay, Chang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No treats today. I do have peanuts. I have peanuts. In case someone does redeem the treats. You completed your first task admirably. 2 more and I can finally give you what you want. She paused for only a moment before delivering her next message of import. Thank you, Edato, thank you. Now, they're just Kroger brand roasted salted peanuts. And I'm in the habit of just eating the whole thing with the shell. Apparently, nothing adverse happens if you do that. In moderation, anyway. So, I will peel it though. Because earlier, my eating of the whole sunflower seed upset some people. So, because they're apparently supposed to peel sunflower seeds. I didn't know that. I was just eating the whole thing. I'm doing good, Ching. I really like this game. It's very cute. We unlocked... Our previous daughter was an oyster. We named her Phoebe. Hi, Thorn. What? How? Why? You'll see, you'll see. Hi, Thorn. Thank you for the raid, sir. Hope you've been doing alright. I've seen you've been playing The Sims. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. If you don't know me, I am Ketchup the Bear, your local Teddy Variety streamer. I do ASMR every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and the rest of the week we play games. We're playing the demo for Mushroom Musume tonight. And every Tuesday we play Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Sorry, it's a long name. We started it last week, so Tomorrow is our second time playing it, so hopefully we're through all the tutorial stuff on that one. And every Thursday we play Monster Hunter Stories. And every Saturday we play an old Sega game off the Sega Genesis Classics collection because it got delisted in December. Last weekend was Echo: The Tides of Time, and it was broken. It was bugged. I don't know why. And this weekend is Echo Junior. So the last of the 3 Echo games for in the collection. So we'll be done with Goofy Dolphin game soon. But thank you, Thornton, for the raid. Thank you for trusting me with your community. I appreciate it very much. And if you like what you see of this game, please go wishlist it. It's super cute. It's enjoyable. It's very cute. The demo has 34 endings, and apparently they are going to double that or something. So that's a lot of endings, and give us more Mushroom Girls. I'm excited. I'm excited. This game's super cute. Okay. Thank you for the treat, and Tato. Thank you. I'm a fan of the graphics. It's cute. I like the Mushroom Girls. That's cute. It has its charm, of course. Thank you for the SO Thorn. Thank you. I appreciate that. She paused for only a moment before delivering her next message of import. Growth struggles to be achieved without presence. Offer me that which embodies the emotion you would provide for your daughter. The recluse pondered for a moment, thinking of what they had to offer. An unsettlingly misshapen sack? A stone lawn ornament? There it is! There's the metal pipe! There's the metal pipe! A prized gem fragment. Let's do the gem fragment. If there was anything worth showcasing the sheer wonder the recluse would have for their daughter, it was a small glittering fragment they kept secret. Like a brilliant emerald, it glimmered unlike anything else the recluse had ever seen, but even they understood that beneath its surface coursed something ethereal. Returning to the witch, the recluse held out their offering. But the witch holds up her hand in protest. It is a beautiful thing to offer such passion. Merely the intent alone shall suffice. Feeling a tender hollowness, the recluse declined to answer. The third day. With 2 assignments complete, the recluse could feel their excitement grow. If this witch was being honest, and for some reason they felt she was, then that meant that this could be the last night they spent without a child. Too much reading? Thorin, you literally found me through Coffee Talk. Through Coffee Talk. I like, playing Coffee Talk made me realize I kind of like visual novels. I kind of like them. I kind of like them. I need to find more. I need to find more to play at some point. We haven't played too many. We played both Coffee Talks, and Valhalla, and Ghostpia. Yeah, I wish more people played Ghostpia. It's so good. I wish it was more popular. It's so good. Right. Okay, we already read that. Is there another one coming out? Did they announce another one? I haven't heard. I've not heard anything about it. We probably will then. Probably. They hoped so, at least. That was all they could do. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed to the meeting spot. Again, the witch had been waiting there for them. Welcome back, recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day, is it not? They announced another one. Okay. The last task is an easy one, or at least I believe so. Bring me something colorful, something bright that you think will suit her. When they were first told of the 3 tasks, the recluse had imagined things that were much more difficult. This seemed so easy as to be a trick, which they supposed only meant that they should take it seriously, as if a mistake could mean death. With death in mind, the recluse needed to decide where to search for color. So we did the stream or the river. Oh, there's another one. The Cave of Indecision. Well, this wasn't an option last time. We have to do the Cave of Indecision, right? We have to. It wasn't an option last time. There was a place the recluse went when they could not make their mind up on a matter. Though their daughter's life was important and every choice may matter, they knew that not every choice was theirs to make. It was unfair to saddle her with all of their expectations. Sometimes it was best to let destiny decide. They entered the darkness of the cave, feeling soft moss beneath their feet. Once they went far enough back, there was no longer enough light to make out their surroundings. This was far enough. They reached down, taking the first thing they felt into their hands. This is what they would take to the witch. The recluse returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. She silently took the object, nodding her head to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. "Oh ho ho, you want your promised daughter, don't you?" Her voice was almost mocking, but at least it was not overtly cruel. "I suppose I must tell you that I lied, human. I do require several more trifling things from you. First is the matter of payment. The recluse should have known that everything is for a cost. Pay me now with wealth. Pay me now with life. Pay me sometime soon in larger quantities. Pay me at a much later date in the way I choose." I'm curious what happens if we pay with life. I am curious. Pull to randomly pick from it. It still chose slate. Pretty funny. No, it's alright. It's alright. I picked slate last time on accident too, so the slate has chosen me. The slate has chosen me. Hi, Ninetail. Oh, it is a magic carp. Okay. Hi, Ninetail. Let's try this. I wanted to try last time, but I misclicked on this one too. They told the witch they would offer life as payment. Certainly. Stepping forward, she took them in a cold, yet not unkind embrace. They woke hours later, with an uneasy feeling that something was missing. The witch was still there, waiting for their recluse. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Humans are tricky, but mushrooms are much more resilient. Consider this an upgrade. Don't worry, eventually she will develop a mind. Simply give her time, as much as she needs. Soon your wish will be in full bloom. I suppose, with all that settled though, there's one last thing for you to consider. A young girl needs a proper name. The recluse thought on the witch's demand before offering the final thing they had to give. Okay, so we did Phoebe last time. The game picked Slate for us. Again. I picked Slate on accident the first time, and the game picked Slate for us this time. I guess it's just fate. So I think we'll go with Sally. Well, no, not so. Oh, I was pressed enter. Sally. Vriska if you want an Easter egg. Okay. Sure. Oh, if you're a Homestuck fan, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. What if it's an Easter egg? Sure. I want to make sure I spell this right. Oh, Vriska. Okay. Sure. Oh, what a unique name, Recluse. Raise her well. Oh, cool! Cool! These are the colors of my junior high. That's cool. Then she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Chapter 2, Cultivation. My team are, quite frankly, nerds. No worries. I like the colors. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed her instructions. Care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up, as any parent should, and assessed the things they needed to raise a child. Finances, in case the nearby village had goods or services that you could not provide. Nutrients for the child, to help it grow strong. They would need plenty, as it would be depleted on a daily basis. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. Oh, my stamina starts at 1. Uh-oh. While tapping some trees one day, you overhear a noise. It sounds like the clinking of coins and dice. Before long, you manage to track down the source, a wingless fairy sitting in the eye of a tree. A human? Oh no, now I'll be forced to gamble, the Fae cried out unconvincingly. I'm the dice Fae, you see. I have no choice but to gamble with every human that passes by. You even get to pick the stakes. The rules are simple. If I roll a 5... Phobos, thank you for the treat. I have peanuts. Okay. This one has 2 in it. Yeah. Hi, Jam. Thank you for the water. Thank you. What is this blasphemy? It's not. I've had this sack of peanuts for like 3 days now. It was here last night, and the night before that. I've almost eaten them all. I don't have a lot left. The rules are simple. If I roll a 5 or less, I win. But if I roll a 6 or higher, well, that means you win. Compelling, right? Gambling with a fairy? What the hell, why not? What do you want to offer? Oh. Does Sari bonk someone? Yep. Sorry, bonked someone. Okay. Just a heads up, we do have an ad break in about 2 minutes. Okay. A coin, a significant bag of substrate, a finger. Ooh. No, not my daughter. Hi, Jam. I have coin. I don't have stamina. Give me a short description. We're trying to raise a daughter. We we live in the middle of the woods, and a witch makes a deal with us to give us a daughter, and she gives us a mushroom. So you raise a mushroom girl, a mushroom daughter. This is the demo. You can, if you like it, if you want to try it, you can. The demo's on Steam. It's 34 endings, lots of different mushroom girls. Will your daughter experience the pleasure of not suffering? your actions consequences yet. Bear's room. Last time we got, I think we might have gotten the same mushroom this time. I'm not sure. um, but we got an oyster mushroom, right? Yeah, we got the same mushroom that looked like this last time. Hateful mushroom. Okay. Acceptable affection 3. So I don't want to gamble her food. The finger's not apparently doesn't take anything. Maybe it does. I don't want to gamble my daughter. I don't want to do that. So is this the stakes? So does that mean we get more of it if we win? I guess that would make sense. But how do I get another finger? Do I get a fairy finger? Gamble a toe? I guess you don't need toes as much as you need fingers. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry, goodness gracious. Okay, the ad break should be starting any second here. I'm going to wait till after the ad break. I don't have a burp command. I guess I should look into that. I guess I should. See if I remember to. Excuse me, sorry. Hi, Phobos. Hello, hello. Oh, not. Okay, hold on. I can read, I swear. Gamble your daughter. Experience the pleasure of not suffering your actions' consequences yet. Really? Catch up. What? Lose your big toe or my thumb? My big toe. My big toe. My big toe. I want my thumb. I use my thumb more than my big toe, right? Are we talking like the whole thing? Like, or like, you know, the first 2 knuckles? The first 2 joints or whatever? Up to the base of the foot? Or are we talking like all the way up to the ankle? Because that's not part of the toe. Oh. Big toe is most of your balance. Well, sure. But I couldn't manipulate objects without my thumb. Is my feet ever again? Yeah. That's what the other foot's for. I'd pick my toe. Pick things up or walk normally. My thumb. Or, no, my toe. Get rid of my toe. You really think you'd pick thumb? On your non-dominant hand or your dominant hand, Phobos? Also, I feel really weird. I feel like I'd have more phantom pain or whatever if I got rid of my thumb. Okay, so if you get rid of your thumb, are you getting rid of the whole thing down to your wrist, or is it just the, you know, the bit that, like, it sticks out of your hand? The first 2 bones. Just the thumb? Well, in that case, you still have the you know, the part that rotates, so you wouldn't be completely unable to grip anything. Just not, like, very well. Not very well. a deaf lore answer? Sure. Sure. Oh, it says toe, but I think toe would be so much worse. Like, I can't use that part of my thumb. Like, you could maybe still grip things. You could still grip things, but you wouldn't be able to, like, turn anything in your fingers. You couldn't do, like, the spinny pencil trick or anything. Just use your phalanges, not your metacarpals. But, like, I don't know. Phalanges. It's a fun. Phalanges is a fun word. Sorry. Popping my knuckles. Um. I don't know. I'm just gonna nerd up for a second. So, you know how Iguanodon has the thumb spike, right? And we found the thumb spike with the phenotype or whatever it's called, the type specimen, and they put it on its nose because, like, well, what do we do with this thing? And they put it on the tip of its nose. Anyway, it goes on its thumb, and if you look at an iguanodon hand or foot, it looks a lot like a human hand, except their thumb doesn't move like ours does. It's their pinky that they use to grasp things. It's really weird. Here, let me look up a picture. Iguanodon hand. Like, I don't know, it just looks weird to me. They have 5 fingers, technically. So their thumb is just like one big bone stuck on the wrist. And then they walk on their 2 middle fingers, or 3. And then the 4th digit is what they use to grasp branches and things. They could probably move the other 3, but their pinky bends inwards. They have backwards hands. It's really weird and cool. Anyway, sorry. I just like dinosaurs. Yeah. Because, you know, their thumb's a big spike. You can't move that, really. You can't grip with it. So they grasp with their pinky. I just think it's interesting. I just think it's interesting. Okay, where's the... Is there an... Can I... Let's see. Is the... Smaller? It is? Is our pinky getting smaller? Just like our brain size? I didn't know our pinkies were shrinking. I can't find an image of it. But we have that the iguanodon mummy with skin impressions, and it still has skin on it. Skin, quote unquote. Anyway, sorry. Sorry. I just like iguanodons. Very interesting. Anyway, let's gamble a finger. Well, if you're gonna gamble with a fairy, you may as well get a keepsake out of it, one way or another. The fairy grins. In fact, you swear you can even see him lick his little lips. This unsettles you. Excuse me, sorry. It's been a while since anyone's given me one of those. Good luck, human. Then he casts to die. Rattle, rattle, rattle. 7. We've passed. When the die lands on a 7, you can't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The fairy, on the other hand, seems upset. Not again, he whined, slapping himself on the forehead with a 3-fingered hand. Man, I hope this one grows back. Without further complaint, the fairy quickly did what he had to do to deliver the recluse their prize. A fairy's pinky... We've been talking about pinky fingers. Oh my goodness. So tiny and yet surely it held a vast quantity of magic? Oh, I got some stamina. Regardless, you walk away pleased. You'll have to show your prize off to the girl when you get home. Maybe you'll even let her have a bite. Sure. You realize that buried in your new goal, you've forgotten to feed yourself, or procure any human food, really. What seems like the most nutritious option? Sneak morsels away from your charge. Eat the mushroom. Woods for foraging. To the village. Their market has many enticing goods. We didn't go to the village last time. Let's try different things. Let's go to the village. There are things you cannot possibly find or make on your own. Looks like a yummy mushroom. And sometimes you desire them. Rarely do you indulge, but today is different. Strolling into the market, you find a booth with a particularly interesting food that you've never had before. A strange soup that's thick, hearty, and incredibly spicy. You purchase more than you can eat and decide to give your child the scraps. They seem to invigorate her. The decision being made, life continued. She's changing! She's got little legs now. You awaken one morning to the sound of something moving about your home. Your daughter has grown a pair of sturdy legs. The creature walks about easily, using her new strength to push and rummage through your belongings. Her demeanor seems cute and helpful, often following you as you go about your daily tasks. So last time we nurtured her environment. Should we encourage her cooperation this time? Oh, does this mean I've done this before? That's helpful. Motivate her to do something safer. Let's encourage her cooperation. Your daughter's development is going better than expected, and you want to promote her helpful nature. You can take extra time on your chores. Explaining the steps and giving her the opportunity to try new things. She doesn't actually help much, and you aren't sure if she actually understands you, but she clearly enjoys the experience. The decision being made, life continued. In the evening, you hear a light knocking on your door, quite a rare occurrence. Peeking through the window, you witness none other than the Witch of the Woods standing on the doorstep of your humble hut. Could she be here for a visit or to settle a debt? Introduce her to your daughter. Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. She could maybe even learn a thing or two. The two of you answer the door and invite the gloomy woman inside for a dry and awkward small talk. Something about the way the two absently stare at each other. You wonder if they've made some sort of connection today. The decision being made, life continued. Today you've made the time to enrich your daughter. Now that she's capable of movement, you figured you'd take advantage of the pleasant weather and go for a walk. But the area you live in is large. Where would you like to go? Your tree-topping route, the witch's hut, through the flowers, the village cemetery. Let's go to the field of flowers. There's a beautiful field near you filled with flowers of every variety. Any living thing with eyes would surely take joy in seeing it. When you arrive, your daughter seems stunned at the colors before her. After the shock fades, she begins running in desperate circles around the field. It is as though she simply can't make up her mind about where she'd like to be. At the end of the day, her mouth is stuffed with flowers that she wants to take home with her. Though you're unsure of her plans for them, you're glad she had fun. Her quality of life having been improved, life continued. Okay, but we don't have much food for her left. Your daughter has changed in the night. One morning, you notice that your daughter is nowhere to be seen. After some searching, you find a massive clump of mushrooms resembling your daughter's protruding in a small clearing. Brushing away some of the freshly turned soil around, you can see the top of your daughter's head, having seemingly undergone a transformation. She twitches in response to your probing, and shifts until the earth again covers her head. We're gonna wait for her. Your daughter seems intent on being underground, so you won't disturb her. After waiting for an hour, you decide to let her be and go about your daily tasks, occasionally returning to check on her. Later in the day, you return to find her sitting in the clearing. The creature had now taken the form of a young girl. The decision being made, life continued. Your daughter needs food too, and you've just run out. You need to find something to feed her soon, or she'll surely starve. Nutritious substrate. No, she's not gonna go hungry. No way. You spend the day foraging and digging in the woods, and return with a heap of mushroom food for your hungry daughter. It's a little hard to be sure, but it seems like she's thankful for your efforts. The decision being made, life continued. One day you awake slightly earlier than usual. In your somewhat somnambulant state, you hear an ethereal croon originating from your garden. When you go out, you spot it. A small fairy clad in hateful is sitting amongst your crops. Build a small fairy garden in your daughter's room using supplies. Offer a coin to the fairy to gain their favor. Catch the fairy to sell in town. Hunt the fairy to use as food for your daughter. Okay. So this would give us nutrients, which we need. Or we catch her to feed to our daughter? Let's build a small fairy garden. Without delay, you quickly gather your supplies. Greenery, some common foods. I'll throw in a drop of blood. Faye love that sort of thing. Oh, hopefully this doesn't consume nutrients. Oh, I think it did. After consulting some books to ensure that it's an appropriate space, you lure the fairy in with treats. Though they seem unsure at first, the fairy eventually accepts your offer of a home. Oh no, I think I messed up. Uh-oh. The girl has been asking you for a pet. Finally, you have something for her. Very familiar. The decision being made, life continued. Oh, it was the last day. Okay. It was the last day. Alright. An end? One night you find yourself struggling to sleep. Your mind wanders as you consider your current place in life. You've lived peacefully with your daughter for many moons. Initially it was strange. Well, it never stopped being strange, but you were always thankful for the company. Besides, the affection you felt for her was like any parent would feel toward their child. That was normal, at least. Your thoughts turned to the concept of time, particularly how you were once alone, and now you are afraid that you will be again someday. Your daughter has had more and more curiosities about the outside world. It's only a matter of time before she wants to strike her own path. You hope you will be fulfilled now. You hope you've done enough. Ultimately, you find comfort in what you've done. You may have had many failures in your life, but there's one thing you know you can die proud of. Woody. A new beginning. Telling the recluse that you wanted to see more of the world wasn't an easy conversation. As they grew older, you worried about leaving them on their own. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you had grown enough to want to move out. Eventually, they offered to help you build your own home, close to theirs. You are welcome to visit any time, obviously. Faster than you would have anticipated. Thank you for the treat, Chang. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. They showed you all the tricks they knew, and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they possibly could. Finally, the day arrived. You were officially on your own. You were scared, a little, but also excited. It felt like a new chapter was just beginning for you. Loving parent. Oh my goodness! Okay, so it's the same kind of risk, a common hateful chicken of the woods. Okay. It's cute. That's cute. We have our little fairy friend here. It's different than Phoebe. Sorry. Peanut tickling my throat. As you go to the local bakery, you feel a set of eyes staring at you. You turn your neck and barely catch a glance at the man following you. He's wearing a beret and a chef's apron and making you feel uneasy. We're gonna do this. Oh no, we failed. Oh, we passed. Okay. You angrily turn on your heel and yell at him. I am a person, you know. You can see him visibly pale, taking a handkerchief out of his pocket and wiping the sweat from his brow as he chokes out an apology. While taking a stroll down the center of town, you catch the eye of a curious group of children. One of them lifts a finger to point at you and shouts, Look, a big mushy! That's pretty rude, by all means. What do you want to do about this? I want to ask them to play. It could be mean. We could be mean. Culinary daughters back to back. I guess. They picked me. It picked me. I guess we'll be mean this time. Because we didn't pick that last time. Maybe. This is how nice we are, right? We have Woody. What's that do? Possesses a woody toughness and a particularly durable for a mushroom. Animal friend. You have an enduring animal-like appearance. Oh, okay. What do we have? We have 1 nope, 2 somas, and 2 wealth. Relative obscurity. Mystic bond. The Witch of the Woods. We have loving parent, pet. We have a fairy familiar. We have a small magical friend that has a tendency to follow you. I want to be nice though, but we did this last time, so let's be mean. You try to think of a witty comeback, but instead you just start to stutter and blurt out, No, you! The kids all giggle and start calling you things like dumb mushy. You're not exactly sure what you did to earn all this, but you find yourself regretting it. Oh no! After a defeated moment of trying to defend yourself, you head home. Your ego a little bruised. Oh no, we're a bully now? We're a bully now? Oh no! Oh no! While walking down a heavily wooded path, you notice a disheveled woman slumped mournfully against the base of a tree. She bears numerous scratches and light sounds. Oh, Wounds. Wounds, not sounds. Light wounds, as well as particularly coal black lips. Her clothes are torn and dirty, but despite this, you can tell they were once quite expensive. Curiosity piqued, you approach the woman, asking if she needs help with something. The woman grimaces, shaking her head. Nothing can be done for me. I have been sentenced to death. As she speaks, you notice her tongue is stained, as if she had been licking ink. You can't help but feel intrigued, so you insist. What does she mean? A few weeks ago, I was walking through these woods when I witnessed the most beautiful woman I had ever known, picking flowers alone. I am ashamed to say I was so taken by her stunning looks that I followed the woman, aiming to at least ask her name. I discovered far too late, however, that it was no woman, but the Witch of the Woods herself. Your eyes widen. Few humans would even speak of the witch. To follow her into the forest is regarded as, well, a death sentence. I know not if it was a punishment or fulfillment of my unspoken request, but upon my approach she twisted around and met me with a terrifyingly intense kiss. When I came around again, I bore a terrible curse. She visibly trembles, pulling at the tattered ends of her elegant dress. Solid cobbles seem to shift under my feet, and steady tools writhe like snakes in my grasp, conspiring to be dropped. I have been doomed to fail at all things. I've lost my work, my coin. I cannot even prepare food or forage without injuring myself. It has reached the point where I can do nothing but sit here and await. She trails off, pursing her blackened lips. Again the doomed lady falls against the tree, staring blankly. It's apparent that she has utterly lost her will to go on. A cursed kiss from the Witch of the Woods? How unexpected! Declining to intervene with the witch's business. Tell her to pursue a romance with the witch. Is that a good idea? Or we can ask for the curse, I guess. We have a relationship with the witch. We have some rapport with the witch, anyway. I feel bad for her, though. What's her dampness? Does it improve her dampness or take dampness? Excuse me, sorry. There's the metal pipe again. Could use our nope card. And this uses humanity or improves humanity. Let's tell her to pursue a romance. The lady is clearly missing the most important Rock-a-Gnome, aka the pipe drop song, but not meant to be a defaulted music playlist song. You can remove it from the playlist in the Almanac's orchestration. I don't mind. I don't mind. I like it. This lady is clearly missing the most important part here. The witch is totally into her. Did we fail? We failed that one! You tell the doomed woman that the witch clearly kissed her as a display of romantic interest. That's usually what it means when someone kisses you, after all. The doomed woman regards you with a sad look. Huh? Is she pitying you? You are naive in matters of romance, she says with a light chuckle. This romance somehow more complicated than you expected? Perhaps you still have a lot to learn. Thank you, though. You have lifted my spirit somewhat, and I may yet find a path forward. Come look for me again sometime, and I'll be thankful for the company. Somewhat deflated, you head home. What an intriguing woman. You feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting. Trees are changing in color. Fall has arrived. Walking around the village one day, you overhear a gaggle of fun-sized humans giggling the time away. Gradually sneak up on them and get close. Remarkably close. They don't really seem to care that you're there. Hey, wait, are they ignoring you on purpose? The nerve of some fleshies. At least you can listen in to whatever they seem to be what seems to be so engrossing. How much? One of the children exclaims, her jaw dropped. How much? One of the children exclaims, her jaw dropped in sheer awe of another kid, whose chest is proudly puffed out. With a grin, the child reiterates, enough to buy 3 bags of candy. No fair, another child cries out. When I lost mine, all she brought me was enough for a hoop and stick. The other kids looked at the child with pity. Hoop and stick was so last season. Well, anyway, the boastful kid continued, I have another one loose. So I can expect even more candy here soon. Oh, a tooth? That's not fair. I want to lose a tooth. You're younger than me. What gives? It's probably because all that candy, one of the kids said, getting met with only a shrug from the proud child as he snacked on his treats. Whatever. I'm gonna go home and pull my tooth out myself, and when you see me next, I'll have 4 bags of candy. The girl stormed off, determined to come into some coin of her own. Which is odd when you think about it. Do these kids get money for their teeth? Do they sell their other parts? You wonder briefly about the value of a kidney when you hear one of the gremlins shout, be sure to put it under your pillow. Aha, you realize there's a caveat. One must need a tooth, and then store it under their pillow, and then... money? Last you checked, that way you'd consider your teeth grow back after some time. This could prove to be a lucrative venture. At length you arrive home, and find yourself less certain about this than you were in the village. It's not like the fun-sized humans are known for their honesty. You pause a moment and think. Okay, go for it. Sure, let's do it. Not wanting to put any more time in attempting to convince yourself otherwise, you reach up into your mouth and grab hold of what passes in your body for as a tooth. Slowly, steadily, pressure builds as you pull, and then... yeah! That hurts quite a bit. No matter what, your tooth won't come out. Your body is too tough to let it wrench free. You could always force it, but you're not sure that's such a great idea. Cut your losses. Something tells you this is a bad idea. Perhaps it's the throbbing pain in your mouth. This doesn't seem to be worth your time anyway. Maybe you'll just have to take one of those munchkin's teeth someday, for science. One day, without realizing it, you had stayed in the village much later than intended. The sun has fully set and darkness has enveloped all. Thankfully, you are fully capable of taking care of yourself. You know this settlement well, and the lack of sun does not change that. You decide to take a shortcut through an alley, but to your surprise, there are others there as well. Quite a few others, in fact. It quickly becomes apparent to you that most of the alley's denizens are going into a single door, one that, when open, you can hear the faint sounds of revelry and triumph through. Hi, Wooly! Is three right? What the heck? There we go. I spelled it right that time. First try. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Ketchup the Bear, your local tidy variety streamer. I do ASMR every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and the rest of the week we play games. Tonight we're playing the Mushroom Musume demo. If you like what you see, please go wishlist it on Steam. It should be releasing in a few months, I think, Q2 of this year, I believe. Please go wishlist it. It's very cute. Very cute game. But welcome, Wooly. Welcome, Raiders. I hope you had a good stream, Wooly. Please do not worry about sick. You want to take care of yourself. Get some food. Get some water. Do what you gotta do. I appreciate you trusting me with your community. Thank you. I don't know how much longer we'll be live. We'll probably just finish up this run. So like 10-15 more minutes. Use a bite to eat. Good, good, good. Go get yourself some food, Willie. Go get yourself some food. But Raiders, if you enjoy this, I hope you enjoy your stay, Raiders. And if you enjoy the content, please consider giving us a follow. We're nearing 800. It means a lot. I appreciate it. And thank you for supporting Willie and their content. Thank you for watching Willie. Willie's very sweet. And please go, and anyone already here before the raid, please go fully. Oh my goodness. Please go follow Wooly. They're super sweet. They're very sweet. Cute streamer. Thank you, Wooly. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay. Revelry and triumph through. When they go to leave, many have small trinkets and seem tired from a long night of cheering. Steal from one of these easy marks. Enter the door. Mind your own business. Sure, let's go in the door. After a while of spying, you get the impression that people are free to enter. Your people, basically, so you figure it's safe to investigate further. As you step inside, the roar of the crowd grows in volume and clarity. It takes your eyes a second to adjust to the dim light. You move past a few tables full of merchant goods into a large room full of people. At the center of it all is an arena topped with a fighting ring. The ring is currently in use as two combatants circle each other. The fighter is a man in a crude grasshopper mask constructed out of dyed linen and leaves. He moves with a quick, staggered step, often feinting at his opponent. His opponent, a tall figure largely obscured by a dark cloak, counters nimbly, keeping low. As you watch as the grasshopper man grabs the cloak, using it to pull his opponent around the ring. You find yourself drawn towards the crowd. The mood of the fight is simply intoxicating. Before you know it, you're whooping and hollering with the rest. Finally, in a thrilling conclusion, the caped fighter manages to subdue the crude grasshopper. They triumphantly suplex the masked man, to the joy of the crowd. Though initially slightly concerned for the man's health, you find that both fighters have support immediately afterwards. Slowly, the crowd begins to dissipate. What a thrilling event! As you go to leave, a chubby woman wearing an elaborately decorated pair of glasses stops you. I've never seen anyone quite like you before, love. If you ever want to fight, come back here anytime. I think that we could help you be something spectacular. You accept a scrap of paper. You accept a scrap of paper the woman hands you. On it lists her name and where to find her. After giving her a quick farewell, you dash back home with much to consider. While wandering the woods, you always do your best to remain vigilant to possible outside entities that you could run into. Certain animals are keen to cause problems for you, and that's not even to mention the humans. It's with this awareness that you detect a nearby being. You pause, listening to the soft sounds of footsteps. Human footsteps, you suspect, or at least something vaguely human in shape. Finally, you can spot the intruder. Your realization floods over you. The recluse. Rush over to greet them. You've not been by to visit them recently, so you consider this something of a fortunate encounter. Chores and your parent, all in one outing. Without any further hesitation, you rush over and wrap your arms around them in a greeting. Thankfully, they had time to see you coming. Vriska, they exclaim, returning the hug. What a coincidence seeing you here. The two of you swap greetings, and you can't help but to pry about what they're up to. Growing up, you always felt like they were doing something interesting, so why not now? Your theory is proven correct. The recluse goes on to explain... Oh goodness, words. As you discover, they have a bit of a deal with the leader of the nearby village. In exchange for dealing with grisly situations that the villagers could never stomach themselves, the recluse gets to live in the unincorporated land near the village without having to concern themselves with the minutiae of civilization. No surveys, no taxes, just what exactly is the favor they're doing again? What exactly is the favor they're doing again? There have been some concerns amongst local parents, they explain. Some hooligans have been trying to kidnap children recently. It's a big problem. Hooligans? Shouldn't the local guardians be dealing with such things and not the recluse? Well, these hooligans are a bit rowdier than most. They live in the river. The river, you see. Most of the guard can't be bothered to dirty their boots in such an undignified way. A hint of bitterness snuck into their voice, a rare piece of insight into their thoughts. Before long, you can hear running water. The river approaches. That is to say, you approach the river. Finally, you and the recluse stand before the water. They nod, then speak. We should be close to their base. This observation is proven correct when the sound of raucous laughter seems to bubble up from the water. The recluse drops their pack to the ground and pulls off their other overclothes. They retrieve a hatchet from their bag, then turn to walk towards the water. Offer to help. Frantically, you call out and tell them to wait. A thought occurs. There is something beneath these waters that needs killing, correct? And humans are somewhat allergic to water, or something of that effect. Why would the recluse take the risk when you are standing right here? At the very least, you could bait the creatures up to land, where the recluse would surely have a much easier time doing what needs to be done. For shaking their head. Oh, we failed. I can't let you do that. It's just not safe, and you don't know these things like I do. You watch the recluse dive into the water with a certain casualness. Without looking away, your eyes find themselves fixed on the surface of the water. In the same way you had just heard laughter, you now hear screams. The water turns funny colors, but only for a moment. The current washes away all evidence, inevitably. Finally, the recluse emerges. They take a big breath and grin at you. The matter has been resolved. Giving you a hearty pat on the shoulder as they pass. Thank you for the stretching. Thank you. Oh. And water. Thank you, Chang. The recluse returns the hatchet to their pack. You notice they also seem to be putting something else away. It appears to be something small and shiny. Almost look like pieces of a shell? Before parting paths, the recluse gives you a big wet hug. They seem fine, at least. Oh well, hopefully you won't ever think about it again. Won't have to think about it again? The chilling breeze greets you one morning, heralding the approach of winter. The end of the year approaches, and you find yourself considering your aspirations. You want to accomplish something significant, you decide, something you'll remember. Take on a dangerous quest. A charming evening at the gala. Decide not to pursue anything. Well, we did the gala last time. Let's do a quest. In your travels, you've been told of some particularly challenging quests, possible tests of your merit. Of the potential opportunities for glory you've heard, you decide to slay a terrible beast, hunt the witch of the woods, participate in an underground tournament. We got that one earlier. Let's do this one. Once you had accidentally discovered an underground fighting competition. A woman there invited you to participate, and you would be lying if you said the thought of it didn't excite you. You would inquire with her, then spend the rest of the season preparing to become a champion. On one particularly desolate evening, you decide to take a walk around the outskirts of town. You find yourself overcome with an unaccountably uneasy feeling as you pass by an abandoned neighborhood, the dying amber light casting menacing shadows. As you enter a dilapidated gatehouse, protruding bits of ruin and decaying wood conspire in your periphery, forming unnerving figures. Something skulks among them. Finally, you spot the thing. Your body tenses with alarm as you distinguish a smooth and gray-brown object in a half-formed approximation of human shape. A statue of a woman, propelled by unknown means, shambles forward and locks its gaze on you. A set of glowing purple features overlays the stony mask of its face, hovering lines forming a mouth and eyes. You don't know why, but looking at the creature fills you with dismay and revulsion. Her glowing image of a mouth cycles through different shapes as an unpleasant roaring emanates from her head. She emits a strange buzzing voice. Is this one a daughter of the witch? You nod stiffly, bewildered. This one is a preferred subject. I will commence a necessary experiment to determine if this form is fit for consummation. This thing means you great harm. You feel it in your core. Tell her we're not a daughter of the witch. We just did. We just told her we are. We attacked the creature last... Oh! I misclicked. We failed anyway. Oh, we failed though. Uh-oh. The creature is incredibly fleet despite her stone body, and tails you without giving up an inch in the pursuit. You can't help but shoot a fearful glance over your shoulder, a critical misstep, surprised to see you're practically within arm's reach. You trip over a jutting piece of rubble and come crashing down under the weight of the stone woman as she collides with you. There lies still for just a moment, she buzzes quietly, bringing her glowing face very close. She then very quietly tells you something. An inky black and poisonous secret, anathema to your being, she whispers. Like struck by a swinging, your consciousness grapples you afloat. Black stops entirely. What is that? You awake in the dead of night, with little memory of the encounter. You do, however, bear a painful reminder. The creature has cursed you. Uh-oh. We're cursed. We're cursed. We're withering. Time falling apart. Uh-oh. That's not good. You are awoken in the middle of the night by a loud crash from your kitchen. You scramble to investigate and finally catch the source of the racket. A man hunched over in pain in the middle of your cooking nook. He spots you and seems to panic, waving his hands around. Wait, it's not what it looks like. Well, it's exactly what it looks like, but I injured myself, so I am no longer pursuing that plan. Why don't you bless a poor fool and choose to excuse my rudeness? We're gonna excuse his rudeness. With a sigh, you help the man to a more comfortable seating situation. It appears that he may have injured his leg somehow in a fall. After a short while, he seems more comfortable moving around. Thank you kindly for the help, ma'am. He seems appreciative and shockingly charismatic. He gives you a slight grin and a wave before leaving you to your own business. One day, you find yourself considering the thought of dinner, primarily that you don't feel like preparing it. Well, you don't need food, as humans call it. You find that it's a comfort you particularly enjoy indulging in at times. Those times are primarily in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. You've been told humans enjoy their meals in this structure as well. This lack of will, yet interest in flavor, compels you to think. You remember that in the village there is an establishment you have yet to visit, a restaurant run by one of the locals. A meal without having to cook? What a brilliant idea! If you were going to ask a stranger for food... Good night, Chang! We won't be alive too much longer, but good night, Chang. Don't forget to brush your teeth, sweetheart. If you're going to ask a stranger for food, you figure you should try to play to human social norms. Perhaps it would be wise for you to blend in more than normal today. You decide to don a head wrap and dark-tinted glasses to conceal some of your abnormal appendages and make your way quickly to town. Thankfully, you are familiar with the area it is located in. This knowledge helps you get there with the utmost haste. When you arrive, you cautiously enter the front door of the establishment. Within, you see a woman nervously pacing. On your entrance, she jumps. Oh, she gasps, then quickly straightens herself up. She gives you a thorough look over as if trying to deduce something about you. Her eyes go from your glasses to your head wrap. Finally, it's as if she has a realization. How discreet! I understand. Please come this way, madame. Discreet? What a strange thing to be complimented on? But she seems polite enough, so you do as she says. She guides you to a quaint table in the corner of the dining room. The tabletop is decorated with a fine silk tablecloth as well as a small selection of lit candles. You go to pull the chair out from the table, but the woman stops you. Ah, allow me. She pulls the chair out and pushes you back in. Is this what a restaurant is? A servant and a meal? She begins to tell you about the current offerings of the establishment, detailing the many virtues of the chef's hardtack and pork stew. And don't worry about the price, ma'am. For you, it's on the house. Everything does sound good. For free, and yet so many options. Aerated squirrel liver paste with a rustic acorn soil. Sure, aerated squirrel liver paste with a rustic acorn soil. Air? Soil? That sounds like nutrients to you. Well, you originally came here seeking a good old-fashioned human meal. The concept of fine dirt prepared by a chef was compelling. You told the waitress that that you will have the air and dirt. After a passing moment of confusion, she simply lets out an emphatic and then departs to take your order to the kitchen. With the waitress gone, a certain silence fills the room. You're there, alone at the table. Admittedly, this is a situation you aren't used to. Do humans spend much of their time in such a manner? Sitting in a room in someone else's residence, unsure of what they are allowed to do? In any case, the time somehow passes quickly. You can just barely make out the faint sound of cookery in the background, pots clanging and wet squelches. The excitement does have an effect on your appetite, and when you finally spot the server coming with a tray in her hand, you can almost hear your non-existent stomach gurgling. Here you are, ma'am. She sets the tray down, the aroma slowly reaching you. She reaches out, placing an incredibly small white dish in front of you. Despite the evocative name, the smell is actually not as strong as you had expected. Honestly, you can barely identify the items on the plate. An airy blob of brown with a sprinkling of brown. Regardless, you take the dish and turned it upward, letting the contents fall into your mouth. Delicious! After sufficient enough time to finish your meal, the server reappears, accompanied by a rotund man wearing a chef's smock. The server quietly takes your empty dish and the chef approaches. I want to come out and personally thank you for coming by tonight, he speaks. I know you could be at any other establishment in the village right now, but I'm honored that you chose mine. You suppose what he's saying is true, though a little odd to say. Nevertheless, you appreciate his kind words? I apologize if this is too direct, but could I ask, did we pass muster? Did you enjoy your meal? You contemplate his question and think about the meal you just ingested. It was truly different from anything you've ever had before. It was incredible. With honesty, you're able to tell the man that it was one of the best meals you've ever eaten. He squeals with joy, quickly covering his mouth. Oh, thank you. This will be so good for business. Please come again any time. He forcibly shakes your hand and leaves in a giddy rush. Finally, with the whole ordeal done, you stand to leave. You were told the meal was free and everyone seems to be gone, so you suppose that's your cue. As you walk out the entryway, your shoulder accidentally collides with something. You look over, seeing a strange hunched woman. She's wearing a pair of dark glasses and a wrap around her head. In her hands, a scrap of parchment paper with writings on it, as if she is some manner of writer. You express a rushed apology and leave the restaurant at once. For some reason, you suspect that perhaps you were able to reap the rewards of a mistaken identity today. And you sure had fun doing it. The first snowflake of the season had just fallen when you realized that it is time to finally get in touch with the woman in glasses that you had met at the fighting competition. I don't know if this is gonna go well, because we're cursed. Because we're cursed. You have to get back to the building where you first saw the fight. That's what's written on her calling card, at least. Thankfully, you know the village like you know your own pores. You walk there quickly, rubbing your hands together in an attempt to warm yourself. Hopefully the fight would be invigorating enough to heat you soon. When you arrive, you walk straight into the heavy doors that you remember from the last time you were here. As you enter, you can hear the sounds of sparring bodies. It doesn't take a very far walk for you to find what appears to be the training area. You find yourself in a room with a half-dozen fighters of various physiques and skill levels. Many seem to be paired up in duos, locked in combat with each other. Around the outskirts of the room, you see the same woman that had invited you to compete. She is sitting on a stool, making notes on a scrap of parchment. You figure it is best to check in, so you approach her. She perks up at the sound of you standing from her seat and tucking the paper away. "Oh, I'm so glad to see you," she claps your shoulder in greeting, a wide grin on her face. She introduces herself as the director, showing you around the room. There are many things to learn thrown at you all at once, terms like ring and persona. You're also introduced to many people, some that could pass as a normal human and others that are fey-touched, like you. Finally, she brings you to a skeleton resting against the wall. "This will be your first opponent, Mori. Why don't you help our newest fighter learn the ropes?" The skeleton hops to his feet and immediately goes to shake your hand. "Nice to meet you. I guess it's time we get to work, ain't it?" As you come to understand it, this tournament is something that is actually quite rehearsed. Don't worry, kid. It's still plenty physically challenging. Your bony buddy, your bony, your bony buddy nudges your ribs in good nature. We just want to make sure it's good fun and not a death match. You take a second to ponder what death meant to a skeleton, then continue your training. You can't just assault your opponent. It's choreographed. The two of you have to practice the fight beforehand, ensuring that all of your moves and stunts are rehearsed. The director shadowing your apprenticeship steps forward for a second. "I assume this is all right with you? If you have misunderstood the spirit of our competition, there's no hard feelings if you'd rather leave, of course." "Well, I'm already here." You aren't sure how to feel about this development, but if you're ready to fight, you suppose you're also ready to do whatever this is. With the matter of your participation settled, you and your sparring partner get to work. "Before we get started, I'm going to need you to show me everything you've got." You begin with a brief stretch. Going with all your strength. Be tricky, go for the legs. You're person-shaped and he's skeleton-shaped. He suspected you would go for brute force, but you're smarter than that. You keep low to the ground, making large... Goodness, for not rolling very well. Making large pronounced strides, Mari seems cautious of you, as he should be. When you think he least expected, you perform a mediocre rolling swipe. Unfortunately, he's quicker. He jumps entirely, avoiding your strike. "You're gonna have to be a little quicker than that," he taunts, holding his arms out wide. After initial attempt, Mari does his best to help instruct you in the ways of the arena. The two of you continue practicing for a few long, laborious hours. Though you have many advantages over this being of bone, Mari has the advantage of a strange metaphysical situation. His movements as a skeleton are unpredictable and quick. It is difficult for you to learn his attack and dodge patterns. Nevertheless, you keep at it. Finally, just as the sun starts to dip beneath the pane of the training arena's windows, your training for the day completes. "Hey kid, before we head out, we should decide on your routine for the fight. That way we can really focus on it," he suggests, thinking for a moment. The two of you discuss your day of practice and try to figure out what maneuvers would highlight both of your talents equally. Before long, you had your choreography. You're writing this one down, right? No? Alright, let's go over this one more time. We'll start off with a little light horseplay. Then when we're in position, you come knock me down with a good old double leg bone strike. After that, I'll come your way, so get ready for my full Nelson. Finally, you bounce back, then take me down for the win. The bespectacled director, who has quietly been working nearby, turns her head at the comment. "Oh, actually, we were thinking she should lose her first match. That way we can really set her up for an underdog story later, you know?" Hearing her state this so matter-of-factly throws you for a loop. Not only are you not going to win, but you're in fact not allowed to win. You do your best to hide your disappointment through the rest of the day, and also through the following practice sessions. After it feels like ages of work, you are informed that your fight is coming up soon. Despite being well practiced, you are still nervous. You've never really performed in front of an audience before, and you hope you won't freeze up. On the night before the fight, it feels like your chest can barely contain your heaps of excitement. You practically run to the building, ignoring the falling snow. When you get there, it's still early. Crowds have not formed yet, and the merchandise sellers are still getting set up. You wonder if they would ever make a doll based on you. After waiting what felt like forever, the day's matches finally start. You are near the end, so you have to endure even more of a wait. But now it's your time. You stand before your partner, crowd cheering and lights blazing, but this time it's all focused on you. A little black mask covers your eyes, giving you an enigmatic look. Circling the ring, you revel in the tumult. An announcer yells indistinctively, working up an already fervent crowd. We got a ballad. The Ballad of Slim Jim. The Ballad of Slim Jim. Okay. And now the match you've been waiting for. Oh. And now the match you've all been waiting for. You know him, you hate him. Let's hear it for the villainous Slim Jim. Wait, is that his wrestler name? Slim Jim? Versus a brand new wrestler straight from the witch-haunted woods. The mysterious masked daughter of the witch, Mushroom Musume. Wait, is that your wrestler name? Nervously, you take your place opposite the skeletal wrestler, flexing his non-existent muscles. This mushroom is... Oh no, an ad break! Okay, we'll wait for the ad break. I like this music, though. It's pretty good. The Ballad of Slim Jim. I do like visual novels, but playing them, man, dries out my mouth or something. Feels like I gotta constantly drink water. And eat a peanut. This music's really good, though. Too bad we failed our check to run away. Mycelium 17. Bully. We're still relatively obscure, too. Hopefully this tournament thing goes well. We've been rolling really badly. Hopefully that's not tied to mycelium. Oh no. Mushroom type or ability to perform in stressful situations. Okay. Our dampness is pretty high. Is this because of our wet hug with our parent? I think that's what that was. Also, murkiness of the soul could be that we're cursed too. Physical strength, but also could be a strength of character. Bum, 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 bum. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. I do like this skeleton just standing here. I do like that a lot, actually. It's pretty cute. It's pretty darn cute. Welcome back, fan break. Sorry about that. That one snuck up on me. Nervously, you take your place opposite the skeletal wrestler, flexing his non-existent muscles. This mushroom is going down, he yells dismissively, looking back at the crowd for support. Mori gives you a slight but affirming nod. Just like we practiced, you can feel him silently reminding you. You'll do great. A signal bell rings and the fight is on. Wait, already? You're not ready for wham! The thought leaves your head as your opponent tackles you, nearly bowling you over. He makes a show of shoving you, jabbing painfully with his bony limbs, but you land exactly on your mark, where the two of you had practiced. The crowd roars at the first sign of excitement. It's your turn to shine. Mori can handle the rest if you nail this sequence. He takes a wide swing at you, nice and slow, signaling your time to act. Strike his legs. He said to strike his legs. You strike. Your strike lands with a resounding crash, and Mori makes an impressive show of it as he lances spectacularly, crumpling to a heap of bones. I'm expecting us to fight skeletons. Me neither. It's happening though. We did unlock his song. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. We'll have to find it later. But he has his own song. Spectacularly crumpling into a heap of bones. He recovers quickly, flailing his limbs dramatically to play up the chaos. Next, he goes on the offensive. You'll have to set him up for this one. That all you got? I thought you witchlings were meant to be tough. A chorus of cheers and booing erupts as he goes in for a charge. Full Nelson. You throw a punch that goes wide, turning your back to Mori. The crowd screams in fervor, and he performs the move beautifully. Your head spins, but thankfully it doesn't hurt. You sprawl out, pretending to crawl away in fear. Looks like someone's ready for the Bone Crusher, don't you think so? He flexes at the crowd for emphasis. The audience roars and calls of, no, she's just a girl! And someone call a doctor, are heard from somewhere in the stands. This is it, the showstopper. You turn to face him, readying yourself for the climactic moment. Set him up for a special move. Okay. Woo! We passed him! You crouch, pretending to shove Mario away, but giving him just enough lift and momentum to perfectly execute his form. He bounds back, sailing through the air in an elegant somersault, culminating in a dive right on top of you. The crowd goes wild! He's light as a bundle of sticks, but you go down, slamming into the arena floor with as much force as you can muster. The crowd goes dead silent in a moment of anticipation. And she's down! The announcer yells, prompting an eruption of cheers. Mushroom Musume has been defeated by the scourge of newbies everywhere, Slim Jim! Alternating cries of Slim and Jim sound off throughout the crowd, and you can't help but feel a little bitter as you lie there. But hey, it was quite the show. Eventually, you are ushered off the stage. On the sidelines, you find a very pleased-looking director. Well done! I know it's not easy to lose, but don't worry, we have big plans for your future, love. Though it seems strange, there was a sparkle in her eyes that you believe. Hold on, did I read that right? Though it seems strange, there is a sparkle in her eyes that you believe. Okay. Cool, I did. Besides, the whole thing had been pretty fun. After some revelation with your fellow fighters, you finally start on your walk home. It'd been a thrill to perform so well in front of the crowd. The next one couldn't possibly come soon enough. Excuse me. We got a thing? We got a thing. Of the champion and future champ. In the years that followed, you spent much of your time in that arena, even though we're cursed to wither and die. Initially, you lost a match here and there. It was tough, but got easier over time. You began to realize that the audience got much more out of it than just witnessing costumed fighters compete. It was so many things. It was the thrill of the fight. Oh, it was so many things. It was the thrill of the fight, yes, but it was also a story, a distraction, a bit of justice gifted to those in the audience. You loved every show and the community you had found in the other fighters. One day, the recluse even surprised you by showing up in the audience. They weren't a fan of crowds, but they were proud to see you doing something that you were genuinely good at. Finally, one day, it was your time. After years of hard work, you had won it all. Fans would frequently stop you in the street, asking for your autograph. One day, a young boy pulled on your arm while you were at a market stall. When you looked down, you realized he was also forged of mushroom. Mushroom Musume, wow, you're my favorite! You gave the young boy a big hug and a few words of encouragement. It was hard to explain, but this felt like your most important victory yet. Ending the champion. That was pretty cute. That was pretty cute. I'm sad we got cursed. But that was pretty darn cute. I did like the Easter egg with the horns and stuff. That is pretty cool. This game is really good. I really like this game. So if we get our almanac, we like 2 mushrooms. Chicken of the woods. Okay, so the Easter egg just added the horns. Gotcha. Gotcha. Man, if they made like little figures of these mushroom girls, man, my wallet would be crying. They're pretty cute. Okay, but we would go for 3 hours now. We should probably find someone to raid. That was really fun. Again, if you liked what you saw, please go play the demo for yourself. Raise your own mushroom daughters. Again, we got kind of stuck with Slate both times, but that's okay. First time I misclicked, and the second time it was fate. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the raids. I see Thorn and Wooly. Thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. Okay. Let's see here. Who's live? Who's live right now? Who's live? To put my nightlight back on. Okay. I one of my favorite parts, I think, is that the colors change as you progress. I think that's really fun. Let's see. We've got. I'd raid Minori, but we raided Minori Wednesday, so we might do that again Wednesday. Everybody's playing Monster Hunter. I can't raid them because they're playing Monster Hunter. We could go raid Nara. We never raided Nara. Is anyone else playing this? Let's check first. Is it just me? I think it's just me. Yep, it's just me. Okay. Where's Nara? We can raid Nara. Fuyu is live. Okay, we can raid Fuyu. I haven't seen Fuyu since last time we raided her. She's playing Minecraft. Let's go say hi to Fuyu. Let's go say hi to Fuyu. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all spending time with me tonight. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go get some seconds of dinner and go to bed. Don't forget to brush your teeth. It's important. Drink some water. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you get plenty of sleep, especially with the clocks changing again. Take care of yourselves. Go wishlist Mushroom Musume. It's super cute. Super cute. I think it's the first time I've ever had a person on the dev team in chat. That was fun. That was pretty cool. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Please be safe. Please be nice to Fuyu. She's playing Minecraft. We might be playing Minecraft as well at some point. I'm not sure. We'll see. I know Grizz and Coffee really want me to play Minecraft, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for some Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hackers Memory. We'll see if we can get any evolutions tomorrow. Um, we don't really have any good places to grind right now, so might take a bit. But again, good night, guys. Please take care of yourselves. Go wish this mushroom with somebody. That was super cute. I had tons of fun. Bye bye.